What is going on, everybody? It's episode 615 of Pop Culture Crisis, and my name is Brett, and I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Brett. Sorry.
Okay, you just ruined it.
My bad.
You just completely ruined it. The episode is just, it's screwed.
All right, I'm killing the stream, and we're going to start again. All right, ready?
No,
3,
okay.
2, okay.
Hi, crisis actors. It's Mary. Before I was so rudely interrupted by our guest here, I was going to say hello. I'm glad to see you. We're back from the weekend, and it's Masculine Monday.
I saw that in the chat.
Yeah, that's why this episode is already on
Why?
the rails.
Dane's here.
Every woman, tell us who you are.
I'm sorry.
Tell us about your masculinity, everyone.
Oh, it's so big. I'm so masculine. Shit's crazy.
How's life?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Good.
Still bad at intros.
Yeah, that's okay.
Still interrupting intros now. I'm just getting worse.
That's all right. I mean, most people don't, so it's good to have at least one person who's willing to change up the order and make things a little bit less predictable, perhaps. Before we get started, guys, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel, please, if you have not done so already. Share this video with your friends and these episodes with your friends so that more people can come in here and find the show. That really is the best way that you can help this channel grow. And also remember, all Super Chats $20 and over, we will interrupt the discussion. We will read those Super Chats right then and there. We will read them
Right
then.
Then
Yes,
and there.
I was putting some emphasis on the word right there. Yes.
I appreciate the
Yes.
gusto.
Yes, I do my best. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, immediately after on Saturday, Diddy responded to the video that leaked of him beating the crap out of his ex-girlfriend. It was actually quite a vicious thing to see, and he takes responsibility for his actions, and the internet...
LOL.
Yeah, that was basically my point, right? So we're going to talk about that, about the video. We'll show you the video. Also, there has been a formal response from the DA's office, which basically says... Too bad, can't do anything about it.
Rehabilitative justice
Yep,
calls, and we can't do anything about it.
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some resurfaced videos of Elliot Page and Elliot Page in general, because I think the ongoing feeling is just that Elliot Page doesn't look well, and that's a problem in Hollywood, given that Elliot Page is probably the biggest. Would you consider Elliot Page the biggest
The
part
most
of the
famous
prominent
Hollywood actor to transition,
Yeah.
probably.
Probably what I would
One
consider the face
who
of it.
became famous before identifying as trans.
Yes.
Because there have been others that were just always famous and always known as their like chosen identity.
Yeah. So
Like,
we'll get
it's a
into it
new
because
thing.
it's something to talk about, because a lot of people would say that it doesn't shine the best light on it. And given Hollywood's propensity to push this ideology these days, it's a relevant discussion. So we're going to discuss that. We're also going to talk about actress Nicola Coughlan, who wants you to know that she is so narcissistic that she forced a show that spends millions of dollars on episodes to include scenes of her naked so that she could shame you for shaming her for being fat.
I should mention her name is pronounced Coughlin because she's related to Seamus Coughlin.
I'm not putting them in the same category.
She is related to him though.
Is it spelled the same way? I didn't check.
No, but it's pronounced the same way.
Okay, well, I'm not doing that.
But they are related.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
just going to go with that.
So we're going to talk about that because I put a tweet out earlier. I said the height of narcissism is expecting a corporation to spend millions of dollars so that you can shame people for not liking to look at you naked. I find that to be true.
It's a little bit trench coat vibes.
A little bit. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Mary was insistent we cover all the boomers who are getting duped and scammed by Facebook AI. I said, you know what? That's perfect because Dane loves to dunk on boomers.
I do.
Yeah.
He does. So
It's funny because it's sad, and it's sad because it's funny.
Exactly. It's like a chicken or egg situation. Was it sad or was it funny first? I have no idea. All right. So if you guys are ready, then we got a bunch to get into. So if you're ready, Mary,
Let's go.
Dane.
Yes.
Okay. All right. First things first. I want somebody to tell me whether this looks fake to you. Does this look fake to you, Mary?
I don't understand why this is viral.
Sam's Club is allegedly selling fake fruit. I need to know what you think of this.
Let's look at the video.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm assuming
It's
it's supposed to be
spongy.
a watermelon, right? But
It's a
doesn't
watermelon.
Really look like it doesn't bend the way watermelon bends.
So he's like bending it like it's a sponge or something.
I saw the same thing with a banana.
Okay, so they were doing it with bananas too.
Yeah.
But I love how on all of these drama alert posts, Keemstar on his personal account goes into the replies to refute them. Like he's community noting his own company's tweets. He said, it's real. It's just been in storage for a while. Watermelons get rubbery when in storage.
Okay. He's like, look, I am the
refuse.
He's like, I am the authority on watermelons.
So it's not fake. It's just bad.
Maybe these were just ones that were being shipped to like a Palestine protest. That could have been for Palestine.
The vegan options.
Watermelons for Palestine. Well, they put the watermelon in the... Right? It's a watermelon that they put in their
That's
profiles.
the emoji that's
Yeah.
like code for the Palestinian flag. Yeah. Yeah, Gen Z came up with it.
That is kind of awesome that Keemstar's like, look, I got to keep my own site honest.
Yeah.
I want to have him on the show.
I would love to
Keemstar?
have Keemstar on the show. I
showed
think
up in the
that
chat once.
he one time he legit like was in the chat for a few seconds, like a year ago. Or
I was
more.
there. I think I remember.
You remember? Yeah, I wanted to get him on the show. I've reached out, but no response yet.
Busy guy.
He's
Drama
busy.
alert.
I like that Sam's Club and Costco kind of get their own weird do you remember when they were covering when they started selling like doomsday kits at Sam's Club?
Did they? I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Yeah, it was like a while back.
Tim would be all over that.
Well, it was on IRL that they talked about it, and
Mm-hmm.
I had it in like a folder for us for like a week, and then we just never covered it. So, somebody in the chat can let me know. I guess it's a real one. It's
Any
just,
watermelon
it's getting old.
experts in the chat?
I
Let
did
us know.
see. So there was a video that was going viral again, and it was either a repost or it happened to another school where they were doing the thing where they were doing like Black History Month, and they were like, and they did a.
Yeah, for chicken and water.
They did no. What they did is they did like
Remember they
a
did that at
survey with the
IKEA?
kids. They asked them like, "What do you want for food?" And they said they wanted chicken and watermelon, and then they got in trouble for giving them what they wanted.
Wait, the black students
Well,
said
I mean,
that?
I don't know
or
who
were
it
they
was,
white
or
students?
it was all the students at the school, and then they got in trouble for giving them what they wanted.
Remember they did that at IKEA?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it was like a bunch of white students saying like it would be funny if we put chicken and watermelon on the survey.
Dude, what summer was the summer of the...
I remember what you're talking about, the IKEA one.
That was the same summer of the menu of Postmates. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
The Pride Postmates menu.
Oh.
Do you want to explain to people what that was, Dane? Because people
I
in the chat
don't.
might not know.
They like selected things that you should eat to prepare for getting penetrated anally.
Okay, I mean, that's the best description I think you could have had.
when you're when you're
Without being too graphic, you know?
Literally that.
like imagine
Yeah.
being in a corporate.
They have an
board-
enema menu.
Just think about that. Like, there's a corporate boardroom somewhere with people in stuffed shirts and women in dresses that actually had that discussion with a straight face.
They
Dude.
should cater that for Congress.
Yes.
Dude, I wanted to order some for you. I'd be like, oh, I got you something from Postmates.
Does
But
that say
it-
more
it-
about me or you?
I mean, both of us, I guess.
I guess.
But it was only like New York and LA.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, not available in your
The
area.
hotspots for monkeypox?
Yep.
Is that a coincidence?
All right. Do you remember when the Willy Wonka debacle happened? Was that 2 months ago now?
It feels so long ago.
Well-
but we have a new instance of a Wonka scam.
Bluey Day.
A Bluey event. I don't know how they can do this without getting sued by Disney, though. Like, this is crazy. So they're just using this advertisement for kids to come to a Bluey meet and greet. And this is at a restaurant in Las Vegas. Thousands of people responded, and they showed up. All of these parents wanted their kids to meet Bluey. And they found out they were in line for hours to meet a guy in a Bluey
Onesie.
onesie, yeah, with a hood.
least give
His
him-
face just fully visible
Needs
too.
it needs the mask.
No helmet.
The helmet.
No mascot. There's just nothing.
Love that.
That's just they waited for hours, and this is what they found.
Maybe they're trying to go viral in the same way.
I mean, you would think so, but for the Wonka event, they didn't use Wonka branding. They avoided the lawsuit. When you use the word Bluey in your advertisement, you are going to get sued by Disney.
Yes.
Like, I'm just wondering when that's going to happen.
It says, talking with Fox 5, one of the children at the event, Sophia, said that she could see his beard. Well, Bluey doesn't have a beard. That's the problem.
Do they mean his dad? Does his dad have a beard?
One parent took to Facebook to share her disdain following the event, sharing a side-by-side comparison of the Bluey at the Dirt Dog event and another one at a Trunk or Treat event. So apparently the Trunk or Treat event did far better justice for Bluey.
I'm looking at comments. One person said, yeah, this was a joke. So glad we turned around at noon and didn't wait in that insane line When we came back at 2:30, I was stunned. I couldn't imagine how livid so many parents must have been. Not only was it during nap time, but the man dressed up as Bluey didn't even say hello to my child when we walked in. He was on his phone, and after walking in, he disappeared into the back. Definitely won't be returning anytime soon.
It was like that big deal they made when when they caught the lady at one of the Disney parks smoking in costume. Remember that?
Well, there was like that's happened multiple times though. We've seen Minnie Mouse was smoking, and we've also seen Peter Pan smoking.
Can't do
Donald
that.
Duck, I think, yeah. But they issued an apology here to the Bluey families. We're truly sorry this event wasn't the expected experience. We take pride in putting on community events for you and your families to enjoy. We have stuff play out, host characters for an added personal touch. We were overwhelmed with the turnout to this event and will continue to improve on our events so we can ensure nothing like this will happen in the future. We apologize to families that miss out on what we had to offer and hope to repair our relationship with all of you.
Those, who could have come out on top in those Disney examples is like the cigarette companies should have done viral marketing on their social medias, where it's like the
we need
cigarette
to
brand.
bring back candy cigarettes for kids.
That would be a
can still-
lawsuit
you
for
can-
sure.
You can still get them.
I thought they were illegal.
I mean, no, okay, so when I was back in Minnesota, we went to the Mall of America, and there's like a huge candy shop that definitely had them there.
Okay.
But
I thought they were against the law for some reason.
maybe they are. Maybe just the state of Minnesota lets you. They're very laissez-faire when it comes to
Yeah.
candy
Exactly.
cigarettes.
Candy cigarettes is how you could tell a 5-year-old was eventually going to be an ex-wife.
Okay.
The children were distraught. Some kids were crying into their parents' shoulders. How could you do that to little kids?
That's very. You think the guy knew, or the guy was just maybe that guy just likes the idea of ruining a kid's day, or maybe
No, they just found him on Fiverr or something.
It's not. It's not his. I mean, it's
Killer
really not
grift.
his. If they provided the costume, it's not his fault. Being on the phone is his fault, but the costume is not his fault.
He
if they
crushed
provided
their
the-
dreams.
Or if he provided the costume, then it's definitely his
That's
fault.
like a formative trauma.
Back to the mines.
Yes, back to the mines with you. All right. So bad news, actually depends on, it could be good news. So for a long time, they were still talking about doing the Pirates of the Caribbean, independent woman remix that they were discussing doing with Margot Robbie in her
Abiri as well.
in her production company. Well, now it seems they're kicking around the idea of Austin Butler taking this role.
The guy who played Elvis in the Baz Luhrmann
And
biopic.
he was in Dune 2.
Oh, he was?
Yep.
He must have been unrecognizable in it,
He
right?
was.
Okay.
He was bald and
Yes. Yeah. He's reportedly being eyed to star in the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean film because there was this report from the Disney Insider. They were actually considering him to play Hercules in a live-action Hercules, which would have been, I think it would have made much more sense for him.
Hercules.
Because you're not replacing Johnny Depp.
Get somebody I don't know what shape this dude is in, but just get.
He could get into shape to play
guess.
Hercules, and he has like a
I
kind of Roman statuesque face.
I still love the idea of Zac Efron as He-Man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because he's just
We can do
ripped
that.
from
Well-
doing Iron Claw.
Speaking of Zac Efron, in the same report, they were talking about this new addition to the High School Musical franchise.
What happened
with
to his
Zac
face?
Efron. So he's going to be booked.
That was Photoshop. It went back down. It was like.
It wasn't Photoshop. He did look like that.
Yeah.
But
He did mess up his face. He did get botched, but he got it dissolved, and it
Yeah.
doesn't look as bad now.
He looks fine. I mean, that never looked like fillers to me. That just looked like a dude who ate too many chalupas for a
It's
while.
both. It's both the Juvederm
Yeah.
and the chalupas. But yeah, it says the last couple of years, Disney has wanted to work with Austin Butler for quite some time. And while Hercules was on the table, I heard that Disney wants him for Pirates of the Caribbean.
There is no
Whether or not that
replacing-
happens is a completely different story.
I never saw the 2014 Hercules with The Rock.
I didn't know that existed.
Me neither.
I just saw the animated movie.
But I have been watching, Hercules: The Legendary Journeys with Kevin Sorbo, and let me tell you, they will never make it like that now.
it never ceases to amaze me. Like, you just always seem to be watching the thing that we end up talking about.
It does kind of work out. I mean, sometimes it works out. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't end up relevant either. But watching that now, They would never allow it to be made the way it was back then, because I don't know if anybody in the chat ever watched the really, really bad Mortal Kombat series, Mortal Kombat Conquest, which is basically like a really bad TV adaptation of Mortal Kombat that I
But
love.
let me guess, you love it because it's bad.
Yes, correct. Anyways, Hercules' Legendary Journeys, but the point I'm making here is in both of them, all the women are dressed very scantily clad, though scantily clad for the time period. Meaning that like long flowing dresses, but for some reason they have like enormous amounts of cleavage, which don't make any sense, and it's just really funny and
I don't
awesome.
really know if that's historically accurate.
No, I'm saying the clothes look it looks like somebody did a slutty version of clothes from that time period.
It's a Spirit Halloween toga costume.
Correct. And now I just was reading this article today from a director who was talking about how they've made superhero females sexless. They're not allowed to have boyfriends. They're not allowed to have romantic interests and stuff like that. And it does feel that way most of the time. That there's no pulp anymore.
Was Jack Sparrow like that?
No.
Like I never watched him.
You should watch it. I've only seen them once, and
I just didn't. I didn't grow up with that.
The pirate?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
But,
Was Jack Sparrow gay?
No.
He was effeminate.
A lot of people say that he was.
He was effeminate. Yeah.
So, Austin Butler, perhaps, but I think if they're going to go Hercules, I feel like there's a better choice there.
Seems like they've thrown out that idea by now,
so.
Unfortunately.
All right. You showed me this begonia. Begonia is a plant or a color?
Really?
Right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Can you fact check that?
I can Jesse.
Okay, so Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, Poor Things and Civil War, respectively, are going to be starring in this movie about two conspiracy-obsessed men who kidnap a major CEO, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying the Earth.
Perfect.
Nice.
And I kind of already love it.
I mean, they should make her a lizard person.
But does that mean she's going to be the CEO that they kidnap?
Likely
Who's the
she'll
other?
be the-
Who should be the other conspiracy-obsessed man?
You know, I've actually got a pick for this. It's an older role model for him, and they get either Dana Carvey or Mike Myers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Especially Dana Carvey's light-haired. But Mike Myers, if you look, Mike Myers has had a glow up. Mike Myers looks perfectly
Really?
like good for his age now. So get Mike Myers.
I think they should incorporate Alex Jones's character from what was it?
They did that on Mr.
From the
Robot.
X-Files, Tad O'Malley. They should just put Tad O'Malley into the movie
Oh, from the new seasons.
from the X-Files.
From the reboot.
Yeah.
Tad.
And then Jesse Plemons' character gets radicalized by Tad O'Malley through the
Damn,
internet
that's
pipeline.
It's just so
The
funny.
alt-right pipeline, if you will.
It's so funny that you remember that because I remember so much of seasons 1 through 7 and just nothing from 10 or 11. And the second you said Tad O'Malley, I'm like, maybe that's where I got Tad Bromwell from. And I just didn't even connect it.
You know what's funny? Did you guys see Mr. Robot?
Yeah.
There's an Alex Jones character. And he's
Wait,
like
who?
bought by China.
Who?
Because
I don't remember this.
I mean, the setting of I don't remember the name of the character. He was kind of a secondary. But
I only rewatched it last year, so I feel like I would have made the connection. But it wasn't
he was skinny, bald.
been too long.
Do you
since
like
I've
the
seen
idea
it.
of this movie? Maybe they make her a lizard person and not an alien.
Does Emma Stone even look like an evil CEO?
She could probably pull it off.
I want there to be the twist at the end where she actually is a lizard person and they Scooby-Doo unmask her and they find out the truth. But then it doesn't matter anyway because they're all going to get locked up in Area 51.
Or no, they pull off the mask and it's a lizard person, but then there's another mask and she's actually just a human.
She's got good girl.
It's just a tiny human.
She's got good girl vibes. I don't know. When she did the Cruella thing, I don't think it matched.
worked.
Yeah.
Cruella. I cannot believe that got made.
That got made. They have to explain everything. You're not allowed to just have mystery anymore. You have to explain where everything came from, which is stupid.
It was really
Well,
bad.
this is the same guy that just directed Poor Things, right? Yorgos Lanthimos.
Sounds right, but I don't remember.
So she's just going to work with this guy for the rest of her life, I guess.
We should have had on Kino Corner to talk about Poor Things.
Oh, to review it?
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't want to. I don't want to watch it enough to review it, honestly.
This feels like they're gonna lean more into these types of movies now because Civil War actually did well.
Okay, it didn't do amazingly.
It did well. It did fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did fine. Got a lot of headlines for the studio for a month.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I'm telling you right now, fan cast, get Mike Myers to play the other guy.
But yeah, there's Civil War, and then there's the Noah Oppenheim script about missiles headed for the U.S., and then there's this one about conspiracy theorists kidnapping some CEO. I kind of think it could be a cool subgenre.
It's what I liked about Independence Day is when you make aliens the bad guys. Like I love the honest trailer for Independence Day, which is basically like an American movie is basically the whole world is suffering, but only America can fix the problem, which is, you know,
how all Americans think
all
of
Americans
themselves.
see themselves, which is perfectly fine. Like
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, it's used to be that way.
In that movie, basically, like they had just like all these other countries, survivors just waiting around for America to try and fix the problem. And they're like, what do you want to do? Like, that's the way things were. Now America's not allowed to. It's weird because nowadays it seems like Hollywood loves to still talk about going to war for causes that America seems to want. But you're not allowed to actually talk about world policing in the same way unless it's the real thing.
Yeah, because what are you going to do? Do a movie about Canada?
Yeah.
That'll be a flop. What they got to do? Throw maple syrup at the problem?
Yes.
You know?
That'd be cool.
They're just flinging syrup.
Hey, stupid, eh?
All right. So what was okay? So you sent me this. So Taylor Swift is what, an activist now?
Well, there is
more of an activist than she already was.
There is a children's book about Taylor Swift. It's a biography written for little girls aged, I assume, 4 to 6, to read about Taylor Swift as if she is the Malcolm X of their generation.
Insane narcissism.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, if only it had been written by Taylor herself. But it says Taylor has a big reputation, get it, for speaking out against racial injustice and for encouraging people to vote. She stands up for other artists and herself, even when it's tough. She's not just a superstar. She's a trailblazer.
It's actually really funny because over the weekend I got like pulled into this weird rabbit hole thread from somebody who made this whole post about how every time an artist releases something, she then releases something right after.
They're really mad at her right now because Billie Eilish just put out her
Who is they though?
Her album, and Stan Twitter, I guess, is they. They're mad because at the same time Taylor Swift decided to release like 5 different arbitrary versions of Tortured Poets Department.
But the point, like when I read all that, I'm like how much time is she supposed to not release stuff? Like, she's a huge artist.
You got to make an exception for somebody.
At one of them, they're like, she released this song 4 weeks after this person. I'm like, that's a month, dude.
Some of them were definitely
There's only 12 of those in a year.
Yeah.
There's only 52 weeks in a year. How much time is she supposed to take off?
I think it was also specifically because Billie Eilish did that interview where she talked about how musicians need to be more sustainable and stop putting out all of these different versions of their vinyls because it's like bad for the environment. You're using a lot of plastic, whatever.
Shut up, dork.
So she was doing that interview and she basically was throwing shade at Taylor Swift because she is the person that does that releases like 10,000 different versions of every album. And they're assuming that because she said that, Taylor Swift is hitting back at her by hurting her charts.
You know what the sad part about that is like she could so say you want to criticize Billie Eilish for that take, like, okay, but then she'll release the digital version and you'll get mad that the record label keeps too much of or that Spotify keeps too much of the money.
You could complain about any number of
literally
things.
any of that. Like, just pick your poison for that.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Mm-hmm. But this is
the whole point
is
though standing up for other artists supposed to be when she like pulled her music from Spotify for like 10 seconds?
Yeah. And ironically, she actually put all of her music back on Spotify the same day that Katy Perry released an album.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a lot of that is like the same people who don't. They think of these industries as like communities and not competitive businesses.
Yeah.
Like
you should at least appreciate that she is unabashedly shrewd businesswoman.
Yeah, like the whole point should be that no, they're not friends. They're not buddies. They're competitors.
No, but she
vying
does-
for your dollar.
She pays so much lip service to like feminist sisterhood that it does make her a hypocrite.
Yes. I'm just saying that I get annoyed when the fans think that way. I'm like, these people aren't your friends. They're not your pals. They're cutthroat businessmen and women that are vying for your dollar. Right? And especially in these genres, which do rely so heavily on their identities, meaning that being a woman is a selling factor here. There's going to be a lot of people in that sphere who are also selling being a woman as part of their business model.
Which is
Okay, what a low
unbelievable.
bar for Trailblazer. She speaks about things.
She does.
When has she fought racial injustice? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Did she post a black square?
Probably.
Also, Billie Eilish's new song is called Lunch, and she like put out this music video for it where she is dressed like Adam Sandler, but like more than usual.
She's always dressed as that.
That's her vibe now.
It's like more than usual, and the whole thing is just about how like I'm so gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm a lesbian, ha ha ha. Even though she only dates men.
There's this great Instagram
weird, right?
account that does these videos. It's Adam Sandler or lesbian, and it's just a picture from the shoulders
Like,
down.
you cut it off
and
at the shoulder.
and it says, what am I looking at? Adam Sandler or a lesbian? I have like a 75%.
It's
hit
not
rate.
like the cake videos. In the cake videos,
they
it's
switch it
always
up.
cake.
No, they switch it up, and I've got a pretty good track record. I can get it most. Like I can get most of the time because Adam Sandler walks funny.
My
So
wife
it's
loves
usually
those.
She loves cake videos.
I
Yeah, she's
despise
like, it's
them.
the same gripe though. She's like, it's always cake.
Just once, I want them to like put it into a stereo and sparks go.
Dude, there was this
everywhere.
one that was a vacuum machine, and I was like, there's no way.
It was cake.
It was cake.
They could start doing one where it's like cake or electronics, and they just throw them into bathtubs.
Yeah.
But they went the extra mile. They got like a real cable and plugged it in, but the thing was cake, and I was like, whoa.
What if the cable was a cake cable?
Well, it was probably just the plastic part that plugged into the wall
Yeah.
but the cord and everything else was
Maybe.
freaking-
I don't know, dude.
I also like the bad ones where people make bad cake.
I love how Cake Boss is entirely just like, I'm the cake boss. And then he's like, we're going to put Rice Krispie treat and then put fondant on it.
Wait.
And like, that's a cake.
Have you guys seen the father-son Costco people? Guys,
No.
Chat has to know what I'm talking about. It's this son and father who their personalities go into Costco and eating.
I mean, that's not such a bad thing.
I did like the-
Dude.
Are they fat?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the second coming of the Antichrist.
Okay, maybe they shouldn't do it.
It's a double chocolate chunk cookie. Like they
like-
talk weird.
It looks like good food.
I did
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's
the
We're
delicious.
living in
video.
hard times.
There's this video of a lady who runs a 5K inside a Sam's Club.
Oh yeah, we watched that on the show.
And she's like running a
Yes.
5K in Sam's Club until I get caught, and she just runs an entire.
Dude, their
5K.
whole channel is about them being Costco boys.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
The more you say it, like the more
it's
details I have, the worse
thing.
it sounds.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Dane's gonna love this because Dane loves Red Scare.
Well, this just
I
made
do
me
love
laugh.
Red
Charli XCX was recently doing an interview with Rolling Stone, and she was pressed to admit that she listens to the Red Scare podcast.
What do they mean pressed? Like, is she supposed to be embarrassed by that?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, because it's very controversial. It's very controversial to say that.
Listen, if you're a hot, skinny chick, it's your birthright.
It should be, yeah.
It is. No, it is.
Yeah. Well, she said, I wouldn't say I'm deeply invested in edgelord culture, but have I scanned the texts? Sure.
So it's supposed to be like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to watch people's reactions in real time because Dasha is doing a movie with
Red Scare is Sam
Dakota
Hyde for
Johnson
chicks.
right now. They're doing this movie, Materialists.
Okay.
There was recent like set photos where she's sitting next to Dakota Johnson filming for that, and I can't see whether the majority of the internet is like, this is awesome, or I hate this bitch.
I don't know.
It's interesting
It's
nonetheless.
funny
Red Scare is Sam
Sam
Hyde
Hyde.
for hot chicks.
Because then
Like,
I was
it's-
thinking about
Yes.
what's her name wearing the Sam Hyde shirt.
I mean, I think
Doja?
it's incredible that you can hang out with Alex Jones and get a job in Hollywood. I think that's kind of incredible. It's very impressive. Must have a really good agency.
Yeah, I mean, but how long ago was it?
Only a year ago.
Oh, okay.
like
yeah.
and they would do it again, I bet.
It's also funny because there was a time when that was not as controversial. So I used to Camille Nanjiani had a podcast about the X-Files called the X-Files Files, and he would have on various actors or like journalists in Hollywood who love the show. And he had on Dean Haglund, who was one of the characters in the X-Files. He was one of the lone gunmen. And he would talk about how back in the day he would do episodes of Alex Jones. And this was in like 2016, this episode. No, it was probably earlier. This was like
Tad O'Malley?
2014. No, he was this is from the early seasons, the lone gunman. But he said that the actor himself was like big into conspiracies and all this stuff. And back in those days, in 2014 or 2013, even in Hollywood, that didn't carry the same scrutiny that it does now. Right? So he's like, I've gone on InfoWars, I've done all of this stuff, and that didn't carry some, scarlet letter that it would necessarily carry now.
I mean, maybe InfoWars, no, I won't say what I was about to say. Well, maybe InfoWars had like a different branding in that time. Like
he mentioned Alex Jones.
But like not as politicized. It's more conspiracy, aliens.
Yeah.
Chemtrails.
Lizard people.
I mean, if Lana Del Rey can title an album Chemtrails, then I think it's kind of mainstreamed before that ever happened.
I still think the most depressing part about all that is like, and we talk about it a lot in other aspects of most of these subcultures, is like before the internet, the barrier to entry was so much higher that it was just, you were more, people didn't doubt your street cred when you joined a community because you had to actually work to find out information about it.
Yeah.
I think the culture is changing at a rate where probably mid next election season, it's going to be cringe to be right wing. Like it'll come full circle. It's not cringe
to be right wing now?
No. But like, it's still, I think well, you know what I mean?
You mean cringe to be a Republican specifically?
No, like right wing will be the new shit live.
You think?
Because I think it happens, at an accelerated rate.
Guilty as charged.
Right now it's gonna be MAGA is gonna be kind of the regular culture, and then it's gonna get cringe, and that'll the circle of life. Maybe. We are all eventually cringe.
I don't know. That's I mean
there are definitely cringe right away. It's
yeah. But
already
there were always, right?
Yeah. Once they become the dominant force in the culture,
and I have something
power will get to anyone's
head.
In
2 years.
I don't know if I buy that. I feel like the culture will just pull the neocons back to power once Trump is gone because there's nobody that can replace him.
I think everyone is just going to start leaning pagan, but that's my prediction.
So yes, she likes Red Scare. It's weird that's controversial, but
who is she?
So what you're saying is
Charli?
like this would be like a dude being like, I like Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny that you asked that. She's a pop star.
No idea.
Yeah.
All right, Mike Tyson. Let's just play the clip.
This was kind of sussy of Mike.
Just a little bit. Let's listen to the clip.
He wanted to kiss me?
Indeed.
Huh? He said he wanted to kiss you. That's so ironic that he said that because I saw a picture of him dancing at 16 doing a little dance on YouTube, and for some reason I had an erection.
Okay.
Is Mike Tyson like all the way there?
No, I mean, I think it's a callback to a previous insult that he had to someone. He basically said, I'm gonna make love to you until you love me.
I like the idea that what he's trying to do is scare him off to keep him away from
it's a very effective intimidation tactic.
If Mike Tyson says he's gonna make you his lady, there's some credence to it.
So Jake Paul is over here shaking.
Yeah. Is that why Jake Paul had the video, or maybe it was like faked video of him like shadow boxing a dildo?
Oh yeah, that was him, wasn't it?
Wasn't that him?
I remember that. Yeah.
Maybe that's where he got the idea.
Yeah. That was the video that got Mike Tyson all hot and bothered.
And the thing is like when I was watching this, it actually proves that this is gonna work because like after the press conference, I'm like, when is the fight? And I had to like go and look it up. But it's like it takes a certain amount of like actual star power to make me even look up something like that, unless it's for work. But the fight's not till July.
It's gonna be on Netflix.
Yes.
So you have Netflix, you can watch it.
Yeah. Should be interesting, and all I say is Jake needs to get keep it moving, and if he's gonna win on speed, not.
Could it be cool if Mike
power.
Tyson just beats the shit out of him? Wouldn't it?
He's trying really hard with the sunglasses and the gum, like chewing gum with the sunglasses on inside.
I feel every man in some phase of their life has had watch Mike Tyson knockout videos on repeat for 10 hours
Really?
a day. Dude, that was 17 for me. I could not stop watching Mike Tyson knock people the fuck out.
Why?
Because it's impressive.
He
I'm never gonna understand this.
No one has ever been that dominant, I feel.
It's one of those things where like if you
they melt.
If you've actually been in a fight and been punched someone else, watching him punch people it's terrifying.
He was shorter.
Yeah.
Too. He was just a little bulldog, like pop.
I thought you said you've never. Oh no, you said you've been in a fight before.
Yeah, and like if you've been in a fight, if you've punched someone, or if you've punched someone else, and you know what that feels like, the last thing you want to do is get punched by Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna understand the male appetite for like not just engaging in violence, like that part I get, but watching violence.
Yeah, I love MMA except when they break their legs. I can't handle it.
Oh yeah, like if there's like a bone sticking out, or something. Like no. They look like Gumby.
Anything else, like CTE, I'm good with. Like I can watch that, but
I had a friend put a bone through the skin once, and when we were like getting him to the hospital, everyone's just clowning him.
Dude, I was there.
That was the culture back then. Like,
That's messed up.
the best thing about the culture is like, okay, imagine like skating is one of those things. It's like you're trying something really terrifying, right? Rail, 20-foot drop on the side, and half of you is trying to like curb the fear of doing it, which usually goes once you start trying the trick, the fear goes away and kind of instincts kick in, muscle memory. But then the best part is you get hurt, and it is crew rules that unless you're severely hurt, meaning you lose consciousness or something, you're going to expect the boys to clown you, which is just the culture.
Dude, I was there for the Boonies vert thing, and there just like this.
Wait, the Boonies what thing?
The drop.
The drop.
Oh yeah.
And I saw it happen, and I was like, oh.
I mean, nobody was clowning him.
No. The 10-year-olds were.
They were.
The really long hair 10-year-olds are like.
An event is different because it's not all people that know each other. When you're out just
I
with friends, and it's like I'll never forget like one of these times where I fractured an ankle, and then I tore a ligament in my shoulder, and I was out for like 3
He already thinks
to
it's
6
funny.
months.
Dane already thinks
and
it's
the point is like I'm on
Brett
the ground,
suffering.
and there's this great photo of my friend like skating by going ha ha ha.
He's like
It's
actually
just-
pointing
and
at you.
like we all have photos of each other making fun of each other when we get hurt, because that's the way the culture was.
dude.
It wasn't meant with ill will. If anything, it's a way to lighten the mood when these things happen, and you have to have a sense of humor when you get hurt, otherwise you're going to be even more depressed.
Dude, the funny moment in that event was like Phil comes. I was like, "Hey, everyone, you can get lunch."
Oh, I didn't even wait for someone to tell me it was okay. I was just
Nice.
like, I'm gonna eat.
I have a whole folder of like injuries of like, and I'm just like, why did so
You
many
just look
people-
back at your injuries and
but-
reminisce.
No, my
about
first
the
thought was
pain.
like, why was everybody so happy to take pictures of me when I got hurt?
Dude, what happened? Bert walks behind me. He's like, "I don't think he's gonna get the money." Like instantly, and I'm like,
well, that was
"Dude."
what I was wondering. Like, is he gonna get the prize?
Well, he
money,
did.
though?
And I should preface, like, if you get hurt, usually everyone goes like, "Oh, dude, are you okay?" And as soon as you give the thumbs up, you're like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Then the clowning starts. So
But
they
what
wait.
if you give the thumbs down?
Well, then you take it seriously. But no, but most people aren't gonna, pussy
What if
out
it's
and do
middle thumb?
that. I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't really happen. Only the most indecisive of person doesn't know whether they're hurt or not.
Hey man, as long as you do it in your own home,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Harrison Butker was not kicked out of the NFL, and he will not be. But that won't stop TikTokers from fantasizing about it.
Here we go.
Common. First and foremost, until a few months ago, we were both employed by the Kansas City
Oh my God, I hate it already with that
Yep.
stupid face.
Yep.
Chiefs. I cheered you on for 6 years straight. And with that, I would assume we went to the same PR training. But since all of that obviously left your fucking brain when you went to go
This is the most annoying video you've ever sent me. and
It's
we're only,
literally
like,
the worst
15
thing ever.
seconds in.
Yeah.
give
Where's
that
the cheerleader
speech, I thought I'd
rational,
be a good coworker. Share my notes. Let's get started. These are fucking vague. Biggest takeaway is you now represent a $1 billion organization. You are no longer just Harrison Butker. You are now Harrison Butker, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. And anything you say or do that doesn't
Dude, this
align
has been a
with
week
that
of
brand
women being annoying.
Do you know how many people in the NFL have domestic violence claims against them.
Do you see?
You don't see her making HR roleplay videos when that happens, though.
Did you see MTG talk about some chick's fake nails? on Congress?
Yeah.
The eyelashes.
It's been a week.
All that. I saw that. I'm like, that's my tax dollars at work so that a bunch of women can.
How
have
is
a
every
cat
freeze frame worse than the last?
Yeah.
Scissoring just like the lesbians you hated in that video.
I literally can't handle it.
So she just made shit up.
Legit can't handle it.
Okay, I think I can get through it one time without pausing it. Here we go.
I can't.
Common. First and foremost, until a few months ago, we were both employed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I cheered you on for 6 years straight. And with that, I would assume we went to the same PR training. But since all of that obviously left your fucking brain when you went to go
Stanzatastic
give that
said she
speech,
has the
I thought
crazy
I'd be
eyes.
A good coworker.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
Share
looks
my
like the
notes.
crazy
Let's get
girlfriend meme
Yeah.
These
from
are
back in the
fucking
day.
Biggest takeaway is you now represent a $1 billion organization. You are no longer just Harrison Buckert. You are now Harrison Buckert.
She has hairier arms than me.
But yeah, Richard Hanania captioned this.
And anything
Woman
you
seems
say
to be
or
in
do that
ecstasy while fantasizing about chiding a man for HR violations and then firing him. The sexes are very different.
What's really funny is she mentions like when Whoopi Goldberg mentioned what's his name, dude who took a knee.
Oh,
Kaepernick?
Yeah.
The point is that he was on the field wearing a jersey at the time, talking about politics. This happened
This was on
privately.
Harrison Bucker's free time, basically.
Which is another reason why I do think it's funny that we live in an age now where you expect to not be running for president all the time.
It was a weird commencement speech, though.
because everybody.
I don't know. It was like, why talk about that during like college graduates?
Well, it makes sense because he's at this small Catholic school where everyone believes these things and they all share these values.
I don't know, but I'd still be like, let God guide you forward. Talk about things like that. He was like, the pandemic. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. He mentioned COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of bizarre, but whatever.
I mean, some of it did definitely veer off into.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like,
I think the parts where he was actually addressing the kids in the crowd made the most sense to me, especially the one that he's getting hate for right now, which is talking to the young women.
Even when he mentioned like the evils of DEI, I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily like required for like a commencement speech, but that's not.
Must have been a long ass speech. He seems to address literally every issue,
and that's not what anyone's complaining about. They're complaining specifically about the stuff he said about women. I also like that Eddie Vedder called him a pussy while criticizing him for making this speech.
Did I miss the part where he stood there and was like, by the way, I hate lesbians? Like, when did that happen? I didn't catch that part.
And none of this matters anyways because his jersey sold out. All the women's version of his jersey sold out. So clearly it resonates with women.
I didn't know there was a women's version of a jersey.
This lady is very clearly fantasizing about being able to control other people's lives.
I think she's attracted to Harrison Butker and can't admit it to herself.
Again, I would look at this differently if she's also got a bunch of videos about various NFL players who have, been convicted of beating their wives.
There is no such other video.
Yes, I know.
It's, yeah.
All right, that was really.
That was painful.
I'm gonna just actually, you know what? Let's play a game. I'm gonna just do a bunch of freeze frames and see if they all get worse.
Okay, we're starting with this one.
The eyes are crazy.
It's literally the crazy girlfriend meme.
That's pretty.
The pen.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you see.
If only you knew how bad things really were. Oh, that's. I think that might be the worst.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That ruined my day. I appreciate that, Mary. All right. Time to tell us about Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. So we came across this interview that Miley Cyrus did on the Call Her Daddy podcast where she talked about when she was first with her ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth. And she said that she initially lied to him about her V-card. And not in the way that you might think, and not in the way that we initially thought either. It's a pretty insane interview. Let's just look at the clip first. But I would assume you think this means she told Liam Hemsworth she was a virgin when they first got married and wasn't. It was the opposite,
This is
weirdly
so
enough.
weird.
The Call Her Daddy interview.
Yeah, the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Here we go.
We got some 20s.
I hooked up with, well, I didn't go all the way with the dude. I was 16.
It wasn't Nick Jonas.
And it wasn't Nick Jonas, but I ended up marrying the guy.
Oh my God.
So that's pretty crazy.
So that's the first guy you hooked up with.
Yeah, which I lied and said that he wasn't the first, so I didn't seem like a loser.
Okay, but now you're telling
It's
the truth.
such more of a full circle story. It's so fucking weird because I couldn't think of anyone. He was like, "Oh, who have you had sex with?" And I couldn't think of anyone, so I just like made somebody up that I
Right.
knew, but we had never actually had sex before. And then
Right.
like his friend ended up marrying him, and so then it was like, "Oh, now my friend is marrying someone you've hooked up with." So then when I was like 24, I had to say that I lied when I was.
You're like,
16.
so that was a full.
Okay.
Dude, what are chick podcasts?
There's 220s
It's
there.
the ultimate chick podcast, and that's what it's for. But that Stanzatastic said, excuse me, hosts of PCC. I assumed the dono would stop the madness like we did with People's Joker. Is this not worse? It might be worse than People's Joker.
It's not worse than People's
No?
Joker.
What
No?
is?
No.
Shane H. Wilder said, I hate this bitch. Someone said she was pretty. I'm like, are you high? All Butker said was that homosexuality was a mortal sin, which is true. As far as the main bit everyone is pissed about, a career is not a vocation. Damn, that's pretty savage coming from Shane H. Wilder. You're usually a wholesome chungus, but I support it. So yeah, she did not lie to Liam Hemsworth about being a virgin. She lied to Liam Hemsworth about not being a virgin.
It's almost more interesting.
Which was so puzzling. But this got posted on this gimmick account called Women Being Awful. I believe we have sourced from this account before.
It's up
With
there
the
with women
implication,
taking L's.
the implication here is obviously, you're trying to spin a narrative that she wanted Liam Hemsworth to think she was a virgin, but obviously we're in a culture where that's no longer really prized anymore. So why would she do that?
I said to Mary before, and I said, maybe it's just because I'm in this space with people, with so many people that are Catholic or people that watch the show or watch Timcast.
Sure.
And I'm like, you do know that out there in the real world, because I don't consider Timcast the real world or any of our jobs the real world.
No, not even close.
This is not the way that people think anymore. It's just not.
It hasn't been for
Very
decades.
long. Like there was whole
Many
movies.
decades.
Remember, the movie American Pie was literally a bunch of guys, going out on a quest to lose their virginity.
Now, granted, it wasn't teenage girls in that movie, but
the point is in those films, like the idea used to be that women would be prized, were more prized in society for chastity and virtue. But now society continually tells them, it's like that video from a couple weeks ago that went viral, the comedy skit where the lady talks about how she took a guy home and she said, but nothing's going to happen, right? And nothing's gonna happen, and we can just cuddle. And the guy's like, okay. And so they just cuddle, and then she gets mad at him and says, like, well, what are you, gay? You didn't want to have sex with me.
'Cause she's insane.
But now this is a comedy sketch. But the point is the idea holds, which is that you think that that's what you want, but society has told them that they're not worth anything unless they're being valued sexually.
yeah,
That's the way things are now.
it's kind of sad. It's kind of depressing, but it's just it's interesting. I really don't understand this from like a psychological perspective, because isn't it true, just evolutionarily speaking, that the less sexually available a woman is, the higher status that she has?
I don't know a single guy that's been like, my girl, she's been around. Like bragging.
Right. So, but then she still felt this societal pressure to tell her boyfriend
at 16 too.
At 16, like, oh yeah, like I've done it all. Like that's very sad, honestly.
But 16 is different thinking.
Well,
from the
what's even
thinking of somebody
worse-
who's much older.
But this is her.
In the
I mean,
same
yeah.
interview, she said this, and I find it really disturbing. Like, this is a sign of parental neglect, no doubt about it. She said, I was 11 or 12. My friends were starting to tell me what they were doing with guys. This is 11 or 12. I didn't really understand it. I got most of my girlfriends to hook up with me. She said the first time I ever hooked up with anyone was a girl, 2 of them. And she's implying that happened when she was either 11 or 12 years old. I mean,
where were you, Billy Ray?
this is insane. Like, we played with dolls when I was that
Yeah,
age.
playing Pokemon.
Like, I just can't even begin to understand the type of upbringing someone has that where they think that this is normal. But yeah, I tweeted about this because I thought that it was interesting. She lied about the opposite thing that people thought she was lying about. And someone replied to me and said, oh yeah, I lied to my now husband of 13 years at first when we were first together. She said I was 19, I was a virgin, and I thought it was something that was embarrassing and that I was a loser. So she lied.
And most likely he didn't see that as a virtue anyways, because he's probably not religious.
Probably
He
not.
Probably didn't
But
care.
would he be repulsed by it either?
No.
I don't think
Also,
so.
there is a vast difference, and it might be easy to say otherwise, but like having sexual experience and just riding a carousel of dick for 10 years is vastly different.
There are different degrees.
Those are different things
to these
right?
things. But it's funny because, you know, she initially met Liam Hemsworth on the set of a Nicholas Sparks movie in 2010.
Then nothing lives up to the hype.
Nothing
after
can
that,
live
right?
up after that. So they got engaged, then they got unengaged, then they got engaged again, then they got married, and then they divorced 8 months later.
Whirlwind.
That's the modern love story in Hollywood, at least.
Like my guess is that he's a dude and he just didn't care. He just doesn't care.
Well, he did ask.
Yeah.
He did ask.
Maybe,
so.
for no other reason than to make sure it was like none of his friends.
Maybe.
He's like, look, I don't care as long as I don't have to find out I'm Eskimo bros with any of the dudes that I hang out with.
This was also funny. Miley Cyrus says she began to feel ridiculous playing Hannah Montana as soon as she had sex. Yeah, she said, once I was 18, it felt ridiculous. The minute I had sex, I was kind of like, I can't put the effing wig on again. It got weird. It just felt like I was grown up. One time I went backstage at Disneyland and Peter Pan was smoking a cigarette. And I was like, that's me. That's the kind of dreams I'm crushing. That's how everyone felt with the Bong video. But I'm not a Disney mascot. I'm a person. The Bong video.
Guys, who was
the infamous Bong video?
Who is the world-class Olympic swimmer who holds all the records?
Michael Phelps.
It didn't ruin me. It doesn't make him less of an athlete when he got caught smoking a bong after the Olympics.
Well, she lost this gigantic deal with, like, a distribution deal with Walmart because she was 17 at the time. And this video was probably getting circulated on MySpace of her, like using a bong. And
Reminds me of Obama's daughter with the belly
would
hanging out
just-
smoking the J.
that would never happen today, I feel.
I just feel like
a pop star of that age, like, losing a huge deal over smoking weed. That wouldn't happen
She'd get
today.
like a weed sponsor.
Yeah, easily.
vape sponsor.
Easily. She'd start her own brand.
Yeah.
I see this and I think that conservative spaces think so much about the morality of sex that it's just something that the average person who isn't religious doesn't think about in that way. Now, there's definitely the argument to be made that they'll be like, look, I don't want somebody who's just been with tons and tons of people, but there's such a gap there between getting a reputation as that and never having sex in your entire life.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at this topic from the perspective of a religious person with, like, strong views about sexual morality, I can see that, you know, there's much less cultural incentive for women to be chaste these days, for young women, like young adults or teenagers, to be careful about who they are with. And especially if they feel like they're going to be mocked for it, or like there's this message that men will find it repulsive.
Repulsive.
Yeah, there's this pervasive. Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard from a lot of women who are, like, I guess, more traditional, more religious, that if they say that they don't want to, you know, have sex before marriage, there are a lot of guys who would ghost over that, for sure. Like, I've heard that.
Oh
plenty
yeah,
of
about
times.
that for sure.
Well, yeah,
Plenty.
But they wouldn't
look,
find it repulsive.
maybe not repulsive, but they're not willing
Repulsive
to
enough to, like, be like, okay, I'm never talking to you again, bye.
Well, I mean,
Pretty repulsive.
Wouldn't that be what you want, rather than a dude who strings you along and says he's okay with it, and
For
then
sure.
presses you constantly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Liam Hemsworth is like, look, I'm a Hemsworth.
Thank you,
I
guys.
can. He's like, I can have a lot of women. Maybe not as many as my brother, but I can have a lot of women.
It's kind of wild how long they were together, and then to only be married for 8 months. Like, did you even try? They started dating when she was 16 and he was like, what, 20
Yeah.
or something?
I feel like I sleepwalked into 9 months marriage.
And then
Sleepwalked into
Yeah,
9
it's like-
months of marriage.
Yeah,
like,
like,
I
That's
woke
funny.
up one day and I was almost at a year.
Yeah.
yeah.
The and then you said and then my favorite part of this story is you were telling me how she made a song about him cheating on her to like shame
Yeah.
him for cheating on her, but she cheated too.
They both cheated.
But the volume of cheating was greater on his part, therefore she's allowed to make the song.
The rumor was that she filmed a music video in the same house in which he cheated on her with 14 different women at the time.
I mean, dude, Shakira was also kind of on
Couldn't
that.
even get to 15, just
14.
Round it up, loser.
round it up, bro.
That'll hold him off for the next
wow.
fortnight.
It's like that way when he has to remember all their names, he can just count them off in like rungs of 5. Like, you know, Tasha, Sarah, Michelle, just goes through them one by one.
There's so many chicks doing like, you cheated on me, but I'm over it. Like music videos, and they're so lame.
When you're like clearly not over.
Yeah, yeah,
This
you're
is the
so
point.
over it.
The point is that she cheated too, which I feel should disqualify you from
She
making the
forgave
video.
herself.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, as I was saying,
Yeah.
the other week, there's nothing a woman
forgave
loves more
herself.
than to forgive herself for something she's done wrong. You know,
Oh my
who
God.
needs society's forgiveness when you can just forgive yourself?
Exactly.
Like I imagine that, like you know, you hit a homeless person with a car, and you're like, look, I shouldn't go to jail. I forgave myself.
And by the time I got home, I forgave myself.
That's
So,
so, you
it
know-
never happened.
she's like, I'm coming clean, like Hillary Duff.
I love that song.
Oh, there you go.
Love that song.
Anyways, I thought that story was funny because it really does feel like a weird type of bait and switch because you think it's
For
going to be
sure.
about one thing, but it's almost more interesting to
Entirely
hear
the
it
different thing.
from the other perspective. All right, guys, let's just move on. What do we got first? We got cringe or cute of the day. What would you like to see?
Always cringe.
Cringe first?
Cringe first. Well, we have 2.
We have 2 cringes of the day here first. So let's start with, oh gosh.
This is a JoJo Siwa.
You shit in your
Bed. You can do the soundtrack.
It's worse without the music.
It's the silence is so loud. Also, look at the chick in the back with the green scarf. They said she's a witch controlling JoJo.
Oh, it's like a marionette.
Yeah.
Dude, what is this? Like, truly.
Why isn't there any music?
That's like how they use the cleaver knife at the sushi restaurant.
It's so annoying.
Imagine you were an alien and you just saw this with no context.
You'd be like, all right, I'm going home.
These are this is an unserious species.
I thought about
On an
colonizing the
unserious-
planet, but when I saw this, I was like, fuck it.
They're like,
Space laser now.
I do like the idea that somebody makes a movie and it's like the aliens came here and it's like, yeah, your planet it's just done.
It's too
done.
gay.
And they're like, why? Because of climate change? And they're like, no.
Do you guys remember?
It's JoJo.
Do you guys remember when Will Smith's son was a nuisance to society?
He still is.
I know.
I mean, he stepped back.
This
a
is
little.
yeah. He kind of reined it back and
My favorite-
pretended
well,
not to be gay. But that now I feel like she's on that level.
She's the Jaden of
Yeah.
2024.
It says
I can't
Bob the
stand her.
stripper. In the chat it says Bob the stripper. I said it was more like one of the village people. You know, she should do YMCA.
What
Like,
is
why
it?
is she dressed like that?
She actually, like in this pause right now, it looks like JoJo Siwa pretending to be Bob the Builder, pretending to be Greta Thunberg.
Her career is a humiliation ritual.
When are we gonna get the JoJo Siwa Greta Thunberg collab?
Yes.
They should make a song together about global warming.
I like
This
the
is about
brand new
climate change.
Yeah.
The brand new Timberland she's wearing.
What?
The steel
Just like,
boots.
what was the thought behind this?
God, it's so unnerving.
The witch behind her doing.
Does she have like an in-ear monitor in that's playing music? What the hell is going on?
You can hear it, just faintly in the distance.
It is that lady in the green scarf is totally
She's
a witch.
totally controlling JoJo. Someone save JoJo from this lady.
Dude, I
maybe,
cannot.
Or maybe this song means
Enough.
something and she's actually doing that. Maybe that's like the sign language interpretation of it.
No more. No more. Next.
All right, next
Please,
next
beg
cringe.
Make you watch that all day long.
Stop.
Oh God. Okay.
This
here
is Taylor Swift's new album as Blood Flows.
What?
For a fortnight there we were, straight from the tortured poets department. My boy only breaks his favorite toys. Gone down bad.
Why were some of them filled with jello?
Dude, are women okay? What is going on?
No!
Is that like somebody peed and bled at the same time?
Why is it neon? There's no reason.
What
that
is
should come out
wrong
of
with
someone's
chicks?
Look, obviously it's all fake blood.
No, I know, but
women will post something like this and then wonder why men have put limits on their sovereignty for all.
Dude, Taylor Swift songs in period blood.
Yeah.
How is this a metaphor? How is it a?
I told you, Brett, don't watch this one.
Also,
Because it had to be a surprise.
I'm not even disturbed.
Right
I'm
underneath
confused.
it says women in Palestine are using scraps on tents due to a lack of pads and tampons. Feminine hygiene kits for Gaza.
So they turned this into a virtue signature.
How can you have can you have your period when there's a genocide going on in Gaza? Mary.
Honestly,
what?
It's despicable.
Frankly.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
But the fact that she like put Jello in those is just like another level.
What does she even imply? Oh, this song's heavy flow. Like, what does that even mean? Is it a banger?
This one's a day 3.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to cue to the day because I'm done with this.
Thank you.
All right.
Heavy flow album.
What does it even mean?
This is from Rachel O'Connell.
Oh.
Says, this is Teddy. That's short for Theodore Danzig of Connell. He is our teacup dire wolf and oldest of 3 boys. He liked when Kellen was on the show, but prefers Mary's righteous indignation and Brett's blonde wig.
Thank you.
Here we go. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The flaps.
You're going for it.
Yes! We need more slow-mo videos, please. That's a formal
That's
request.
A fierce looking kitty right there.
Damn. Get its ass.
One more jump.
Slow-mo makes everything cooler.
Got it.
Got him.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You gotta make him feel like you won.
Yes. Let's do one more here. This was from Olivia Clare. It says, here's more of Bucket for cue to the day. Love the little goofy photo I got of him trying to get a treat from me. Well, that's a normal photo. It's very cute.
I see the tongue.
Oh, gosh, it's awful.
It's cute.
Bucket is adorable.
It's cute.
It literally does.
Oh no, I'm on the fence.
So there's an area around there called Cat Alley, and there was 8 cats there yesterday.
That's insane.
8 of them. They just because there's a church right there that the lady takes the cats in.
Dude, my wife's like tragically allergic to cats, and for my I love a cat, and for my birthday she took me to a cafe where you drink coffee with cats, and she was like literally puffy
You
face.
can get like an injection for that if it's just for like the day.
Well, someone should have told her.
Yeah.
And she was like puffy face, like, "Are you having fun?"
How is it?
Like, we should
My
go.
dog stepped on a bee.
Yeah.
My dog's a bit. All right, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? Time to talk about Diddy.
Yes. So we did show you this shocking surveillance footage from a hotel in 2016 where Diddy was violently attacking Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend. And it's confirmed to be real. And now Diddy has posted an apology video. It's the epitome of someone who is not sorry for what they did, but they're sorry that they got caught. They're definitely sorry they got caught.
I haven't seen the video.
In the history of people who got caught, how many people are actually sorry they got caught? You should not expect them to actually be sorry. It's actually even.
Well, you would hope that they're both sorry for what they did and sorry they got caught, but the fact that these accusations from Cassie came out months ago and he denied it completely makes me think he is not sorry for his actions at all.
I just never. Whenever people are like, "He's just sorry he got caught," I'm like, they're always just sorry they got caught. Like nobody in the history of these videos has ever actually been sorry.
Diddy claims to take full responsibility for his actions. So
Like, hey, I took her to the hospital.
let's hear his apology.
Here we go. If you would play, please.
It's so difficult to reflect on.
I
would have first.
I'm already just...
It's so difficult to
I first want
reflect.
to judge the boomer nature of his video, which pick the camera up, bro, and less headroom.
She was given the option, vote or die.
Yeah. Here we
Should have
go.
voted.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life.
In your life.
Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
I mean, I forgive him.
Disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help.
He got therapy! Listen, I beat the shit out of her, but I got therapy, so...
They worship therapy.
He got therapy.
Can fix any problem.
Oh, man.
Okay, let us continue.
Sorry. You got therapy.
No, I agree.
Listen, I'm sorry for laughing, but...
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Pause.
I'm so sorry.
Heartful pause.
Yo. Pause for emphasis.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness.
Okay.
They need to take a page out of the Ashton Kutcher playbook where you go film it someplace where it doesn't look like nobody in the planet could afford to live.
Well, it's only I mean, yeah, he kind of looks like he's in Bali.
Just a modest villa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, but, just to be clear,
Yeah.
here was Sean Diddy Combs' statement from when Cassie's accusations initially came out. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and the truth. That is what Diddy said before the footage came out. He changed his tune after the footage came out. Who is surprised by this? I'm certainly not. But funnily enough, the LA District Attorney saw the footage and said, sorry guys, we can't do anything about this because there's a statute of limitations.
He went to therapy.
They said,
what else?
That's all they would have given him anyway. They would have given him court-mandated therapy anyway.
What else can we do?
They said, we are aware of the video that has been circulating online allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles. We find the images extremely disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would be unable to charge, as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs, but we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it to law enforcement or reach our office for support from our Bureau of Victims Services. So no jail time.
No, what I love is basically if you're in California or New York in a situation like this, you're like, man, I really would have loved a chance to not prosecute this anyways, which is what they would have done.
Yes, exactly.
Even if it had been like nothing would have happened anyways.
I mean, he is famous, so they could have a good PR opportunity to
He's a Fed, too.
prosecute
I guess Jonathan
him,
Majors got Jonathan Majors got therapy.
That's New York, but
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's even crazier is it looks like Diddy has been covering his tracks for a very long time. Perez Hilton claims that Diddy paid the hotel $50K to not release the footage of him abusing Cassie that surfaced today. He believes the footage was obtained when the feds raided Diddy's home just a few weeks back.
I'm honestly surprised that he was able to get it for only 50.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly what I thought.
For some person working at a hotel who's like $50K is more money than I've ever seen.
I mean, you could have been like 60, you know, like whatever.
Even then, I think it's worth more than that, right?
55.
But that's just crazy. Like, he acts like, oh, I didn't even remember that happened.
I'm disgusted.
That's crazy.
He's like, oh, what hotel did that happen at? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Scumbags. And I do think that there's an interesting discussion about whether when these videos come out and people talk about how they're just sad that they got, everyone says like, you're not actually sorry, you're just sorry you got caught. I see this and I'm like, what would be a situation where you actually feel like they felt sad about it? It would have to be something where it happened a long time ago and they had made meaningful progress to change their behavior in the time before that. Because you could make the argument that even though you've changed your behavior, it doesn't mean you want something damaging to come out about you.
If we're believing the Rodney Jones lawsuit, that is spanning up until late 2023.
So
early 2024. He has not changed his behavior whatsoever if we're to believe what Rodney Jones has accused him of. And it's not just that. I mean, apologize to the guy you allegedly shot and almost killed. Maybe apologize to the underage strippers and prostitutes who were allegedly at your house at a bunch of blackmail parties. Yeah, I don't think you can go to a certain amount of therapy that will make you not a predator to society.
But it's a catch-all term to get you back in the public's good graces.
I worked on myself.
Yeah, you worked.
I
on yourself.
learned and I did better and I grew.
Here's the kicker. They're all in therapy anyways, even when they don't do something crappy. So it's just I've been going to therapy, but it's
the
not
only
for
thing
that.
therapy is going to do for someone like Diddy is tell him who to blame for his own actions. Oh, it's because my dad, hit me when I was a kid. That's why I'm violent to my girlfriend. It's like the only thing therapy teaches you how to do is avoid blame.
And honestly,
Truly.
that's what society, like there would be a pocket of society that would be, maybe they don't approve of what you did, but they're like, oh, that makes sense. Because a lot of people love the idea of being able to pawn off your own behavior on something that happened to you when you were younger.
Do you guys think therapists go to therapy?
I'm sure they all have to do it at some point when they're learning, like when they're getting their license. Yeah. But I bet most of them aren't like currently seeing a therapist.
Do you ever see the show Hannibal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to he's Gillian Anderson plays Hannibal's therapist.
Oh wait, no, I saw the movie.
No.
Oh, by the way, guys, if any of you are in the market for a job, Diddy is hiring. He's looking for designers, copywriters, editors,
Copywriter.
all sorts of things. Let's take a look at his advertisement here.
Put it up on Yelp.
DMZ. Years ago, God made my mission and my purpose clear. And my mission and my purpose is to do whatever and play whatever role that I have to play into saving the black race, number one. And number two, to making sure that everybody of all colors...
A good first step would be to not beat up people.
That's a great first step.
Solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All backgrounds, all
Are you a therapist?
creeds, all
Yes.
nationalities, all get this. We all get the same 24 hours. Not just one race, not just another race, not just one gender, not another. We all get the same 24 hours.
Wow.
I'm fighting this fight, and to other people, it's an impossible dream.
Got
It's
an
not
email.
impossible. It's going to happen.
God's
We're
work
gonna make
at
progress and change the world,
CombsGlobal.com.
but I can't do it alone. And I know there's people that feel just like me that are out there that are talented, that's probably working for Google or Nike or working for
Timcast.
bigger corporations.
If he said that
have
in
a
the
track
video.
record, have an experience.
Google.
Nike, Timcast,
Timcast. World Star Hip Hop.
InfoWars.
At the level that I'm playing at. I'm not coming to just compete. I'm coming to win. I'm gonna fucking.
First of all, the people he's like the
Self-improve or die.
the commie types who have that same type of like we all need to work together kumbaya stuff hate the phrase we've all got the same 24 hours because they'll say, well, you're rich, so your 24 hours are different because you have so many advantages.
Because you have servants.
Yes, the equity people, the people who love equity don't jive with this.
by Disney for us.
Well, him and Disney would get along great.
Oh yeah, he could be the next Flash.
They are looking for a
Please
predator
send
right
me
now.
Your resumes and your portfolios to God's work, because I'm doing God's work.
Guys,
You're
I'm
doing
sending my resume.
God's work.
Me when I beat my girlfriend. I'm doing God's work.
I'm doing the biggest human resource investment from the
Kidding.
top level of CMOs to COOs to general managers down to creative directors.
You think I could
down
get a
to
creative director?
producers.
Shut him up.
The list is so long.
Shut him up.
You guys think I could get creative director for Diddy?
Yeah. I would love to.
Should we try? Should I try?
See you, yeah.
He's also looking for hotel managers and security guards,
Yeah. Lawyers.
fixers.
Yep. Corrupt cops. He's looking for all sorts.
All
All walks of life.
I can't even with these people.
He's looking for hitmen.
Therapists.
He's looking for prostitutes. All
Morning
sorts of
therapist,
people.
evening therapist, afternoon therapist.
I did like the kind of old school scrolling graphic on there that was akin to like an 80s news report.
Yeah. Yeah.
What What a charmer, huh?
But yeah, guys, you know, you can go to therapy and never be to blame for beating your girlfriend. That's what the lesson that we've learned today.
Correct. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Masculine Monday, Brett, Mary, and Dane. Yes, I know Dane is on sometimes for Woman Wednesday, but it's 2024. What are you, a bigot or something?"
That's a good point.
Are you?
Don't be a bigot.
It feels like a masculine Monday in here.
Mm-hmm.
Shane H. Wilder, "Damn it, Dane, we just started and you already effed it up. We can't take you anywhere." This is why PCC can't have nice things.
Yep.
I'm a Brett Dasovic.
He also said the only thing that would make the Bluey thing worse if he was just standing there smoking a cigarette going, "What's up? I'm freaking Bluey."
What a base.
Let's do one more.
The stereotypical stereotype show said he went from Diddy to he did.
He did. He should change his name to He Did. All right, let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back after the fact. Time to talk about Elliot Page.
Recently, there have been some resurfaced clips of Elliot Page going around on the internet, and I think that we do have reason to be concerned about Elliot Page. The body language is not good. I saw this activist, Scott Nugent, tweet out this video where Elliot Page is talking about LGBTQ plus representation in Hollywood films. Let's first take a look at that.
Okay, here we go.
It's often called like niche, you know, queer things niche. 30% of young people identify as LGBTQ plus. So I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not niche. You tell really specific stories about like cis het people. I'm not calling that odd plot niche. Thank you.
Yeah, so I suppose the point here is that because an increasing number of Gen Z is identifying as LGBT, that means that it should take up like half of the entertainment we watch. Doesn't exactly follow. I did tweet the other day, why is Gen Z the most gay and homophobic generation? But
I mean,
you seem to think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think everyone's in a reactive binary. But also, I feel they call themselves this, the queers.
They call themselves queers,
Yeah,
yes.
so how is that, like, what is queer? I think
It doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah,
it just means, you know, I have a weird haircut
Yeah.
and I put like weird rainbow badges on my
I listen to Red Scare, I'm a dude.
backpack, stuff like that. Yeah, but this activist, by the way, I realized I recognized the name because this is a detransitioner saying this. Not attempting any humor. I am genuinely worried about her. She does not seem healthy. She comes across as if she's on speed, frantically trying to justify her decision to transition. This is the 3 to 5 year phase of medical transition where you advance to the final surgery, the bottom surgery, and realize there is only one more step and you still do not feel better. You go into validation mode because if you acknowledge to yourself that it's not working, it implies that the past 3 to 5 years have been a cruel joke at your cost. To handle this, you amplify your efforts to show that you are rectifying a mistake, correcting an error of being born in the incorrect body. This is the period where thoughts of suicide peak. Every trans suicide I know of has been at this time period of transition. And as easy as it is to dunk on someone like Elliot Page, there is a real reason to be concerned.
Yeah.
Just statistically speaking, that's what Scott Nugent is trying to point out. But there are 3 stages where it's like you start socially transitioning, you decide you don't want to do it anymore and you go back to normal life. Or you start medical transition, you decide you don't want to do it anymore. You can get back to some semblance of normalcy afterwards. But there's some point where you get to a point of no return. And that seems to be where Elliot Page is headed. And that's supposed to be like the promised land of like trans joy, as they call it. And it's kind of terrifying to watch just like a train wreck happen in front of you, you know? There was also this resurfaced clip of Elliot Page getting interviewed by Oprah about trans joy. So let's listen into to what trans joy is, what it
Most
means.
joy. The most joy. it's, you know, getting out of the shower and the towel's around your waist and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, there I am. And I'm not having the moment where I'm panicked. I'm not having all these little moments that used to be just being in a t-shirt.
I don't know, man. This is super dark.
Yeah.
It's being able to touch my chest and feel comfortable in my body for probably the first time.
Like, this person really looks comfortable.
Tears of joy. Goodness.
Yeah. That I know that when I watch that video, what I see is someone who's joyful, comfortable, confident, happy, all of the above, right? It just is like this mass gaslighting. Look at that video without the volume on, right? Like, if you look at that body language, no context given for what's being said, this looks like someone who is deeply, like, grieving, you know? Like, there is nothing joyful about this. It's just incredibly ironic, but it's really dark.
Yeah.
It's really dark. And I feel more pity than I want to, like, mock specifically this person. I mean, if you've used your identity to bully people, I'm definitely gonna, like, bully back, but I don't think she has done that, at least not as much as other examples. So it really just makes me feel so much pity and sadness.
Yeah.
Because it's like no one told you, like, this was a mistake. Like, no one tried to stop you. No one cared enough to tell you this was a mistake.
Also, then it becomes all you are, at least in the public space, right? Because Elliot Page will never be remembered from movies, be remembered as an activist, and that's...
Can't exactly play a man in a movie without it being a big thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're never going to be a leading man in a movie.
And all
that isn't about like trans stuff.
Well, that isn't about like a trans issue.
And all of the interviews seem to reflect that in body language, in tone.
It's just she's shaking her head like no, the whole time, where she's saying, like, I'm so happy, like, I'm really happy. Like, has no one, like, come and said, like, hey, like, you look like you're suffering? Like, it's just... Well, it's terrifying that you can be around this echo chamber of powerful people. Like, literally, Oprah is sitting across from you being like, and you're so happy, right? Tell us about how happy you are.
Yeah. Well, by the time you get there, it's not, it literally is not Oprah's job in her job description to push back, because she would be fired if she did. She would if she was a good person, but that's not how corporate media works.
It's her network. Right?
It's her network, right? So the point is she knows what sells, and she's not going to push back on what sells.
Yeah.
Or at least what sells for her, or what her audience
monetize the
demographics
trauma. Whatever the trauma was that was some kind of trigger for this to be seen as like a solution in someone's life, in anyone's life, whether they're in the public eye or not. Like, that's what needs to be addressed. Someone just super chatted about it. We'll get to that later. But yeah, it's just sad what they've done.
The body language was terrifying.
Yeah, it honestly is. I mean, just without the volume on, before I even heard what this clip was about, it's just like this person is literally going through some kind of PTSD flashback.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it's like shell shock almost.
There's a $20 there from Tech.
Shout out Dane's fake business t-shirt. Can we get Tim Dillon on the show?
See that shirt?
I mean,
can you explain the lore of your fake business shirt?
Tim Dillon had a skit about fake business. And this is the Enron logo.
Cool.
And it says fake business. It's his merch. Should
we get Tim Dillon on the show?
I mean, sure, right?
Yeah, if possible.
Yeah.
The Elliot Page show, I have a hard time even covering it, because it really is just sad, and I don't have a whole lot to offer other than you know, this is where this argument comes in, right? She's breaking no laws, technically doing nothing illegal, but it's just sad. And I can look at this and be like, this is sad.
The procedures that have been done to make this a reality should not be legal, is my opinion. But that's what's so difficult about covering things like this. Not only just because it's depressing, but because there's this all-seeing eye of censorship where you can't actually say what's going on.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just stop ourselves before we get in trouble here.
It's
But
the reason why we tend to shy away from this stuff, other than to point out just generally that, like, I think, what was the last thing that we covered from Billie Eilish? Was it like this from Billie Eilish from Elliot Page? Was it the stuff about going into the gas station and being harassed?
No, the most recent was from a different interview about the roles that she takes and like the, you know, trying to do movies that aren't just about your trans identity. And I was like, this makes no sense because it's like no one can interact with you without that being the first thing they notice.
There is there could be an interesting discussion to be had about the idea that 30% of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQIA+, therefore entertainment should reflect that. But again, whenever I see that, I'm like, so a dubious study, a dubious survey was done by a dubious group.
A bunch of girls think they're bisexual now.
Yes.
Whatever. And also, like, they only got this social contagion where it got to a point of 30% identifying as LGBT because LGBT was overrepresented in media because they're overrepresented in Hollywood.
Yeah, to the
so it's a
tune of, like,
self-perpetuating cycle.
If we give it like a brief segue, I think we discussed it here that there's gonna be like a live action Zelda movie, and that a lot of activists are vying for Hunter Schafer to play Zelda.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be like a real watershed moment.
Not Link.
No, not Zelda, from what I heard. I mean, the
okay.
interesting thing is Zelda
Different.
and Link look kind of similar.
Yes.
Right.
I was gonna say I thought it was Link, not Zelda.
I think I saw that fan cast for both, actually.
I always understood Zelda.
Yeah.
I could have been wrong about it. Like, again, if that's what you read, I could have been wrong. I just remember it was linked to like the live action Zelda being made, but I thought it was to the Link character, but I could have been wrong. And that was like 6 months ago, right? That was announced.
Haven't
and stuff
heard
like
anything.
that.
They're radio silent about that film since.
Well, thoughts on the fan cast?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to relate it to this.
Would you be against that decision?
I feel like, okay, here's the thing. I feel like personally the fan base for Zelda's older, right?
You couldn't unpoliticize it if that it were to happen.
Yeah, there's no way to separate the two.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, nothing's going on.
The gamer fan base would see it as a political decision.
Yeah, it would be bigger than Gamergate.
Yes,
I think.
I see
definitely
Anya
think.
Taylor-Joy for Zelda. That would be a good choice.
Would I be right in saying that the Zelda fan base, just because of how long it's been around, is probably older anyways?
Timothy Chalamet for Link.
There you go.
Interesting.
All right. So again, this is just, to me, it's just sad. And seeing this stuff, it really is when people watch these videos and you're not worried about censorship. If you're just having this discussion on Twitter, what you're going to see is a lot of people saying, like, what you're seeing is the violence of Hollywood played out in someone's eyes, meaning that this looks like this is the end result of all the evils of Hollywood in kind of in one person, and that's sad.
It's worth mentioning, like the general spirit of this conversation, I think, is worry. You know?
Yeah, it is.
It's not, you know.
It's genuinely not hatred.
Yeah,
but they'll never believe us on that.
I know,
anyway.
but for
what it's worth.
For what it's worth.
We're not hateful.
We hope.
Yeah.
He's okay, whatever.
All right. Let's go super chats.
Yes. Corey Anderson said, when is the T-Swift backlash coming?
Never.
Backlash for what?
What backlash?
For Harrison Butker?
There's a little every week for her, I feel.
Yeah, like she gets an equal amount of people that dislike her and just very loud.
Well, I mean,
a loud majority that like her. She gets a fair amount of pushback for how famous she is.
Is she gonna give backlash to Harrison Butker?
Oh, I doubt it. She'll stay out of that.
I bet she is talking shit about him though.
I did see a really funny thing that said she was performing with a hickey.
She was. She's distracted.
She's back in high school. She's like, I finally got that football player I never got to date in high school.
But what would be more sinister is if it's just her makeup artists doing that to cause conversation. Rhaegar Targaryen said, boxing and MMA is so satisfying to watch.
It really is.
Mike Tyson was basically Thanos from the 1980s to the 2000s.
Kind of was.
Corey Anderson said, I hope Tyson knocks out Paul in a minute.
It'd be sick.
I mean, wouldn't it be more fun to watch Paul like try his best to get away and Tyson just stalks him?
Dude, if
But he's got to win quick though, because he's not going to have the endurance that Jake Paul.
if Jake Paul knocks out Tyson, it's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be so sad just to see a legend just get knocked out by a.
Could it end in a stalemate?
We'll have to wait.
A stalemate.
Could it?
In a draw.
I love that.
A draw. I mean, that's the way it went with
What if Tyson?
Dylan Dennis
what
and
if,
Logan
what
Paul.
if Tyson just bit his ear?
Oh, you got
Just
disqualified.
Throw back and bites his ear.
Whoa.
That would be good.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
I think Jake would love that.
Yeah.
They would be like, he gets to be remembered as
Badge
that
of
guy.
honor.
Yeah. T-Dog said Mary watched the first POTC movie. Wait, what does that stand for?
I'm Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, very well made and a lot of fun. Also, how many crisis parties to get you to wear that large Russian hat?
What large Russian hat?
Remember when I got that huge hat that was made of alpaca fur?
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. How many?
5. That seems fair.
5.
That stands
Let's
fantastic.
get to 5, guys.
Said Carousel of Deke. What a powerful and brutal statement.
I aim for strong visuals when I'm giving you.
Great.
Also known as finding yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you say? That you said like the dildo of consequences
Rarely
rarely
comes lubed.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a metaphor.
I mean,
huh?
that's a terminally online phrase you'll hear. The dildo of consequence rarely shows up lubed.
Love that.
Shane H. Wilder said, yes, sometimes I lose my stoicism and go savage. Even a gentleman has to vent every now and then. LOL. We respect that.
You're not exactly a stoic either. You little shit poster.
True.
Let's do one more.
Alfred the Rock said, I knew a very attractive cheerleader who was celibate until 25, but she went down on anyone that would pay for dinner. She finally got engaged at 27.
Okay.
Interesting.
Seems like a fair middle ground, I guess.
Disavow.
What am I supposed to take with that? Like
I have no idea.
I whatever. Like, you know.
But then it's like, what's the point of being celibate then?
She waited. Just make sure she's got her herpes medication and some cream for her face. And
Goodness.
do what you gotta do, bro.
Okay.
I have no idea. Like,
People draw the most arbitrary lines.
that is an unbelievably arbitrary line. He's like, look, she didn't do it down there. Sure, her mouth was basically a train station.
Everything
but other than
above
that-
the neck.
Everything above the neck was a train station. But other than that, she was perfect.
Jeez. All right.
All right, let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back after the fact. Let's move. It's time to talk about Nicola Coughlan.
Are we gonna start the show?
Yes, we're starting the show now.
We're starting the show.
We're starting the show nowadays.
Wait, no. An hour and 32 minutes.
Let's start the show.
And
right.
let's get started.
Let's talk about Fats
Yes.
McGee.
I'm sorry. You just threw me off. Okay. So this Bridgerton actress recently did an interview where she claimed she demanded to be nude in Bridgerton in order to say F you to the body shamers.
Here
Just
she is.
Throw them a fat middle finger, a really fat middle finger to the body shamers.
In the infamous words of Tim Pool, some guys like fat chicks.
Nicola Coughlan demanded nude scenes as an FU to the body shamers. I specifically asked for certain lines and moments to be included. There's one scene where I'm very naked on camera, and that was my idea.
Well, of
my
course,
choice.
A thin person would just be naked. A fat person would be very naked.
She continued, it just felt like the biggest FU to all the conversations surrounding my body. It was actually amazingly empowering. I felt beautiful in that moment. And I
Like
thought,
Lizzo.
when I'm 80, I want to look back on this and remember how effing hot I looked.
Dude, women in general are having a week. Mary, rein them in.
The ability of society to just lie to women is one thing. Women's ability to lie to themselves is amazing. It's amazing.
It's
like
truly
It's
a
like
feat.
when somebody posts like the
Next
video of Gorlock going out, and they're like, "I pray to
I'm a
one day
10.
have half the confidence,
Of
delusional confidence that Gorlock has."
She's not fully Gorlock level,
No, it's not.
honestly.
No,
and you know,
no.
she's really like, she looks like she she would look great if she lost the weight, honestly.
But that's not the point of this. The point of this,
student,
ladies and gentlemen, is that only in modern Hollywood do you get to live under the delusional, narcissistic belief that a studio should spend millions of dollars and risk millions of people turning off the TV to satisfy your narcissistic desire to be validated by society with a big F you to people who say mean things to you on the internet.
Just imagine being the director and she's like, I insist on being naked. Like, okay.
She collaborated with an intimacy coordinator.
I was about to say, like, and then the intimacy coordinator's like, damn.
Lizzie Talbot, to shoot her sex scenes with the leading man, Luke Newton. You go, okay, what do I want to show? What don't I want to show?
See, here's the problem.
What's scripted and what do I want to add?
You get to choose what people see, which is even more narcissistic.
Oh,
you really want to prove to me that you want to say F you? Show the stuff you don't want them to see. No good lighting. I want the cellulite to be 110% visible so that people can judge you.
That's realistic.
That's realistic.
Do it in the old IRL studio.
Representation.
Yes.
Representation of cellulite matters.
Any fat woman who wants to be naked on camera should be forced to do it in the Timcast studio to film the scenes.
The old one.
Exactly.
So that the lighting.
I think that would kill the porn industry once and
if
for all.
All porn stars were forced to film scenes in the IRL studio, it's like, oh, you think you're hot? Well, you've never been under these lights.
That would be the end of porn.
Yeah.
In a now deleted Instagram post from 2022, she went off on body shamers, saying, "If you have an opinion about my body, please don't share it with me. Most people are being nice and not trying to be offensive, but I'm just one real-life human being, and it's really hard to take the weight of thousands of opinions on how you look being sent directly to you every day. If you have an opinion about me, that's okay. I understand I'm on TV and that people will have things to think and say, but I beg you to not send it to me directly." Fair enough. I guess. Don't send your opinions to me.
I feel like 99 times out of 100 that's going to be my take, but today it's just like, no.
F you.
You don't get to demand nude scenes and then decide who sends you a message.
Right, no one asked me if I wanted to see you naked. Yeah. Therefore, you didn't ask for my opinion about your body and you're going to get it.
Yeah. No, like at the very least, whoever was a camera operator that day has a right to send you an opinion on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I have to agree. So this is interesting. Her family is going to be sent an edited PG version of Bridgerton so that they don't have to see her naked.
Why is Hollywood bending over backwards for this lady?
She said, it's literally written into my contract. People think I like saying it as a joke, but I just don't want to. I grew up Irish Catholic. That's just not how we vibe. So,
But it is how you vibe.
I don't think it's ever how anyone vibes, that they want to see their child having sex on TV. But
unless you're Sydney Sweeney's grandparents.
Unless you're Sydney Sweeney's grandparents that want to see her boobs.
Best hits in the business.
At least she went out of her way to actually get it in the contract.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself in contract negotiations.
Yeah.
It's called a non-in clause.
I want to sign up to be sent the edited PG versions of these shows. I don't want to see you naked.
Dude, that show's so stupid.
I've heard that it's extremely graphic.
It is.
Like, for no reason.
It's like 30 seconds in, there's a sex scene.
Yeah. It's like Jane Austen adaptations, but also mixed in with porn.
It should be weird that we have sex right now. Like, it's completely that.
Yeah. Which is just totally, like, not connected to the era in which
I wonder if she's naturally a redhead.
No, she's not.
She's not?
No, I don't think so, because in other photos, I think she's blonde. But anyway, this is the same actress that they were promoting as having, like, great chemistry with her co-star.
Maybe I'm wrong here. Why do the fat women in Hollywood always have to be with, like, dudes who are in shape?
Well, that's not her boyfriend. It's her co-star.
But the scene is with, I'm guessing is with...
You're right.
You're right. Why? Because they know that two fatties just doesn't have the same ring to it?
No.
Bread is cooking!
Cook?
Put the fatty with a fatty!
Cook.
Let's be realistic.
We created widescreen cameras for a reason.
Or at least put it with someone in DC.
He's not very gifted in the face.
Okay.
What? He just looks like a normal dude.
But All credit where it's due. She's 37 and she looks 25.
She does look very young for her age.
She's 37.
It's all the extra weight. It's all the extra, all the extra weight in her face that smooths out her skin.
I just imagine her like, "No, put me naked." It's like, no.
It's really weird, right?
It doesn't make sense for a scene. I'm taking it off.
It's giving trench coat flasher vibes.
Yeah.
Like, you need to look at my body. It gets me this weird thrill.
There could be a great Ryan Long skit where the director's like, well, you know, talking about, he's like, well, don't you want to be more modest? And then like behind him, like one of the other actresses is getting naked for their scene. and they're like trying to talk her out of it.
Yeah.
I can't with it's unbelievably entitled and narcissistic to be able to spend a bunch of a studio's money and risk people just turning it off so that you can clap back at a bunch of people on the internet who said mean stuff about you.
There's a lot of sex scenes in Bridgerton that are not just her. But that's kind of the point of the show.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a specific type of sex scene, meaning that it's with somebody who's not conventionally attractive.
Sure.
Okay, so if it wasn't written, and clearly, if the studio wanted that, they would have written it in for her. Right? If the studio thought that a sex scene from her
I think
would
they
have benefited
did.
the show, they would have written it for her and not had her demand them.
I think they just worded it like that in the headline for clicks, but I get what you're saying.
Well, it's working.
I think they wrote the sex scenes for everyone regardless, but I don't want to see any of these people naked, but most especially not the obese ones. I think that's only fair. I'm being sexually harassed by Netflix.
Yeah, I remember when there was that fake button that was supposed to be like you can skip the sex scenes.
I want that button to be
it
a
doesn't
thing.
exist, but the button was called like skip the foreplay, which doesn't actually make sense because that would
it doesn't.
theoretically bring you to the sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really wish that were a real thing.
Look, it's her fault that she wasn't around when Girls was being made. She would have fit in more perfectly during Girls.
I don't know. The
Lots
cast.
of naked fat chicks on that one.
The cast of Bridgerton, aside from that one chick who said there aren't enough roles for young women in Hollywood.
What? For young chicks?
They're not really stunners, honestly.
The women?
I mean, they're British.
I mean, any of them, really. Are they all British? That's probably why. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. This is just contributing
Little
to
joke of the limeys, huh?
to my, like, phobia.
Do we need to throw the tea once more? I'll throw it.
We're spilling it today.
I just
We're
can't
spilling
get
the
over
tea.
the absolute narcissism of it all.
I'm a fan today. Right?
Can't get over it. It's all
I'm Team Dasovic all the way.
Anyways, just no. Just avoid it. Don't do it. Mary would say don't do any sex scenes at all.
Unless in the privacy of your own home, then it's say okay. You know what I mean?
Did I tell you that I did see somebody give me the perfect example of the most necessary sex scene in Hollywood history?
Oh, Jason Statham.
Which is Jason Statham in Crank, where literally the whole point of the movie is he has to keep his heart rate above a certain amount to stay alive. So he physically has to be having sex to stay alive.
The Community
You can't
Notes.
just do jumping jacks.
Yeah.
That's like a Community Notes Hall of Fame. It's
Yeah.
like, this may be the most necessary sex scene of all time.
Because Chevy Chelios needs to keep his heart rate above a certain amount. He does like initially he does a bunch of cocaine and it doesn't work. So
I've never
then he
seen
starts
that
a
movie.
fight. You should watch it. It's great.
Seems like a fun time.
It is, and it's
A little silly.
It's in the. I never saw the sequel. I never saw Crank High Voltage, but it's on HBO Max. But I'm always like almost, and then I don't do it. So just no. Just no. Or how about this? If they write it in for you, do it, but don't require them to do it for you and risk people turning it off. And if you think that people are shallow enough to turn it off just because the people are on stage are having sex are ugly rather than attractive, you're right. They will.
Getting naked to trigger the haters.
It's human nature.
Our dialogue about this is kind of like when someone says, stop foreign aid to Israel, and then the other person goes, no, we just need to abolish foreign aid to all of these different countries. But it's for sex scenes.
Yes.
Like, I would just say no sex scenes.
Okay.
Wow, that was a metaphor, huh?
There's some metaphor.
All right.
It wasn't
Let's
a great
go
one.
to, we got a bunch of
Trying.
super chats to get through.
Sorenko Productions said it's always the SSR eyes. Like eyes.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been told I have those.
You have SSR eyes?
Yeah. I have been told that.
I don't think so.
No?
You mention it a lot.
I don't take SSRIs.
No, the eyes thing.
Corey Anderson said, Mary, as the resident lady, how are women not dead if they bleed that much, 5 to 7 days a month plus clots? I don't know. I'm not a biologist, but
Well, you should get days off for doing that, Mary. You should get menstrual leave.
I non-ironically agree.
No.
We're still going to do this debate again.
Just no.
We're going to do this
We're
all
different.
over again. Rhaegar Targaryen said, Brett, do you remember Man-Eaters by Chelsea Kane?
No, I do not, but I'll have to look into it. But I saw your post earlier. I was like, I should look that up.
Corey Anderson said, are we not going to talk about the male appendage made out of white fur on buckets' faces?
I didn't notice that, but
What?
What do you mean?
In Cute of the Day. Oh, I already.
Maybe your
deleted it.
mind is in the gutter.
Yeah.
What that is, my friend. That's called X-rated pareidolia, and you should have that looked at.
That's a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's not. I'm making that up. But
Oh.
pareidolia is where like you look in a cloud and you think you see something.
I believe everything you say today.
Yeah.
I'm like,
If you say it with enough,
You're like, cook!
oh, I watched this. I watched the worst.
like I have that.
You know the videos it's always like on a site that's it's like Capital Wealth, and it's just some dude you've never seen before talking really really spiritedly about investing or something like this.
I love it when they're Gen Z.
Yeah.
Listen here, my portfolio is very diversified.
I watched this really
Juice
funny
box.
one today. It's like why watching movies is a scam, and it's just this dude who's like
Word.
he talks about. He's like, yeah, he's like, I never watch movies. He's like, the last time I watched a movie, I think it was like when Avatar 2 was coming out, and Peru had just won the World Cup or something. I don't think it was, or it was like Argentina had just won the World Cup, so we went to see Avatar 2. So we rented out the whole theater, and then we left after 20 minutes. And he doesn't really tell you why movies are a scam, but I'm watching.
Yeah.
It had like 10,000 comments that were just like, I hate you.
I take my start movie time and I start a business.
Yes.
The new thing on Twitter, at least right now, I feel is just no fun allowed people. There's like, I quit drinking and I made this much money the next year. And I sleep for 9 hours a night.
Yeah. Well, that's
and
this
I
guy's
go
the
to bed
hustlers.
at 9 p.m. every night and I hustle but I somehow sleep 8 hours and for 2 hours every night.
No, the phenomenon that I'm watching is the guys that got shoved in locker pretending to be Andrew Tate. It's like, you remember that tweet that we read? It's like, 9 to 5 job, earning 90,000, get at home, have fun with your friends, kiss your wife goodnight. Ew! I was like, that sounds great. I don't know. Like,
How do men live like this?
oh my god.
90,000 a year with a home and a beautiful wife.
Might as well be dead.
gay?
Might as well be dead.
All right, let's do one more.
Your family loves you. Your friends
Shane H.
respect
Wilder
you.
just said, damn it, Corey.
Yeah.
Who's Corey?
He's the one who saw the appendage.
All right, let's
Oh.
go.
Yeah.
Let's move on. It's time to dunk on boomers, which I'm
Yeah.
sure will make you
Yay!
very happy.
We do this for you, Dane, really.
thanks.
It's to make you happy.
I hate him.
AI Facebook scams need to be stopped. And I'm calling this to your attention because if you have grandparents that are using Facebook, they might be getting preyed upon by AI scams like these. So basically, there's this trend that we've noticed. We don't really use Facebook, but we've noticed there's this AI slop that just gets circulated onto the pages of Facebook boomers. They don't know how to recognize an AI generated image. They become very gullible targets for scams and people steal their money. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, that's just natural selection.
Let's look at these photos.
Should we look at the insane Facebook AI slop
Yeah,
thread?
yeah.
Let's look at that.
There's even a whole gimmick account called Insane Facebook AI Slop.
That's just terrifying.
Usually it's like something related to Jesus.
This is the people that run the nation.
There's also like a lot of images of
Oh my God.
like starving children,
Yeah.
third world children,
Okay,
children
this-
with diseases.
Alexi
This is
Viral.
Robot Jesus bringing you a birthday cake. Thank you.
Why does he have 3 legs?
Don't ask questions. Just consume.
Just consume. That has 32,000 likes.
Yeah.
Dude, it would
There
take,
are a lot of images of like crying children. Like,
only a boomer would be like, listen, Jesus messaged me on Facebook. He told me the guy said $50,000. Yeah, it's the real Jesus.
oh, look at this one of Jesus next to this big cat.
I'm sorry, but this is
That's Lizzo with her children.
where?
Below that, there's Jesus
cat.
praying next to a giant cat covered in ants.
And then it just says Scarlett Johansson for no reason.
Wait, I don't get how this ends in financial transactions.
Wait, the next one is so good. We'll explain that later, Dane. We're just gonna consume the slop right now.
Yeah.
Got it.
By the way, I'm sorry, but after Portalgate, I'm very tepidly.
No, there's no porn on this.
You never know.
There's no porn. I swear.
What the hell is Shaq doing?
Why?
At least I'm assuming that's Shaq.
Why did he put a little girl
that-
into that
or
fish's
is that-
mouth?
Rick Ross?
That's shock.
No. Okay.
Shock.
Okay. What the hell am I looking at?
I had no idea.
Doesn't matter. You just consume it. Just believe it.
What the?
There's
Okay.
Jesus as a lobster, I think.
So is that like supposed to be Jordan Peterson's spirit animal?
Dominance hierarchy.
Yes.
There's a lobster
Can you
Jesus.
explain how people are getting
Oh wait,
scammed?
I also need you to show these other tweets though.
Okay.
We're not done. Did you think we were done?
This one says, I'm unable to view this post because the account owner limits who can view their posts.
Boo.
Is there one that we used for the thumbnail? Yeah, like it's usually like these types of photos with children in them where they're holding up a sign.
10,000 likes. Mommy and Daddy said we can keep a kitten.
Look at the cat. That's not. Look at the cat closer. That's not a cat.
Dude, Tacti Platty's silent because he's getting exposed right now. He's probably donating to some of this.
Look at
Doesn't
this.
have super chat money anymore.
There are tons of
What
photos
is
like
this?
where it's just a child in like inside water on a ventilator that has a sign that says "Today is my birthday," and they caption it like "Can I get a wish?"
This is just CNN.
Like, yeah, and then the next one is Emma Watson with no arms. Yeah, that's "Today is my birthday. I just want to wish."
I can just see the photo.
Nice abs though.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, like a giant croc-shaped hot tub, a duck toilet, more fake sand sculptures of Jesus, fake like energy drinks, and things of this nature. It's just
What the fuck?
like
is
I
this?
just can't be the only person who has seen this shit, right? Like, why is Jesus made of eggs?
No, I can't.
It's just that like times a million, and
Dude,
that's
wait,
like
okay.
what a random like this is what the average Facebook page looks like for a
Okay.
boomer just scrolling
Boomer
Facebook.
rant time.
This is what
Boomer-
they see.
Everyone, boomer rant time. Take a shot.
Yeah.
So to fool boomers' parents, they pretended to be the IRS and be like, "You owe me tax money. Please send something to this." That's believable.
Yeah.
Like, who would know that the IRS wouldn't call? You know.
Right.
Boomers think boomers are giving money to lobster Jesus.
Yes. No, okay.
What
so
a stupid bunch.
let
huh?
me try to explain it because I saw this thread that kind of explains it.
Yeah.
For those of you asking what's the point of this, it's a way for scammers to find gullible people. Watch what happens when I look into the comments of one of those grandma traps. That's what they're called, grandma traps. A typical image that gets pushed into grandma's timeline by the Facebook algorithm, grandma cannot resist. And it's this photo of a little girl holding a birthday cake. Do you have that? From an angry possum? Yeah, this is the fake photo. It's AI generated of a girl holding a cake. Grandma comments saying, "Good job, sweetie. You just wait and see. As you grow up and keep on making them, people will know why they're so delicious. Because you started at a young age. God bless you." And then you go to this woman's page. She's very obviously a real person, and she is a granny. And she falls for these AI generated images because she's old.
What we need is like trolls going the other way to create realistic fake boomer accounts.
Brett,
to respond.
Brett, scroll down to the replies on her public posts. It's lower down. That one, I think. That is a full screenshot of all of the replies to her public posts. And they're all from scammers.
Okay. So in what it's
This is one. Okay.
makes me think of Timothy Chalamet sending people messages on Instagram. I need
literally,
$600 to finish Dune 3.
The one here says you need to be very careful with whoever you come across on social media. Keanu Reeves is a very nice man and with a good heart. Lots of things have been going on here. I'm a friend of Keanu Reeves, and I don't like how many people impersonate him on social media. That's why I'm sending you this message. Then they send her a Telegram link to God knows what. And the next thing you know, she's probably giving out her social security number to these people and like her bank ID and everything. It's insane. So this is one small example of the grandma traps. Look out for your family. This is happening with alarming frequency, and I'm sure it's happening to other vulnerable populations as well.
You bought all the houses, boomers. This is your karmic response.
They're frequently about Jesus or little kids who have some amazing art, little kids suffering, vets who are missing legs
So
and
you're
want
telling
a
me that
birthday wish, or grandma knitting.
Trump didn't actually ride a unicorn while flying an American flag behind him?
It's hard to believe from the perspective of someone like us who can easily tell when an image is AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe for people that are even like Gen Xers, it's like getting difficult for them to discern it because they're just not as online.
Okay, I don't even know what this means, but this is my favorite.
There's a Jesus lemon watermelon.
Yes.
Oh, that's a hot dog giving birth. Okay.
We better give it $10 million.
There's a Jesus.
Because there's not a set that's going to my
the Jesus
kids.
pomegranate.
I just can't.
He's
What is
about to
going
tuck
on?
into a Jesus pomegranate because he's an amputee and he deserves it.
This one's great.
AI is not being used for good. That's all I'll say.
Nor will it be.
So the question is, can we save the boomers? Well, no, because they're going to live forever and they're going to keep doing this. And
They're going to be spending their money on Facebook AI scams, cruises in Bermuda, and Florida Airbnbs.
Last time I talked about the boomers, we had to delete the episode, so I'm just going to mind my business.
Zip your lips. That's fine.
Just gotta smile and look pretty.
I just can't.
But, think about it. This is how AI looks now, but it would have been shocking to see images even this developed like a couple of years ago. Think about where it's going to be in a couple of years from now, and maybe it will even be scamming us. I'm just saying.
Shouts to the Indian guys that are scamming boomers.
I can't.
I'm making assumptions.
I know that we dislike boomers on this show, but I can't take a side with the Indian scammers. I can't be.
They're doing
in
God's
league with
work.
them. I can't do it. I don't feel bad for the boomers necessarily, but I just can't side with the Indian scammers.
Right, Tech Teapot is quiet. He lost all his money to Watermelon and Jesus. He can't donate a cent.
What is
He feels
the
called
dog?
out right now.
What is the dog eating in this? And why does everybody have one leg?
How did Jesus lose his leg but not his toes?
Well, it's a fake toe. It's a fake foot.
He has prosthetic toes but not a
prosthetic toes.
prosthetic leg.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
So he can fit those sandals.
Look, it's the boomers are they're gonna live forever. They're gonna just continue to hoard all the wealth, and this will be their comeuppance.
Can we keep looking at AI slop?
If you can show me more, like.
Did you do your homework?
Look at this.
What is this, dude?
He did woodwork of Putin.
I mean, what are these prompts? Like,
Brett,
who's making this?
I promise they're not pornographic. It'll be okay.
Ugh.
He shaved Jesus into his head.
What is
Okay.
this, dude?
There's a rooster
Tim
train.
might get down on this one.
Tim would like this.
Rooster train.
Rooster train.
Tim
there's
likes boomers.
Mutant twins. Cool. There's a kid with a robot made of bottles.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
The next one is just Jesus on a ventilator saying it's his birthday. What is this? What is going on?
I still don't know how you lose money watching these.
Telegram links.
When a boomer sees this, they're just like, shut up and take my money.
Like, I gotta donate to the evil space people attacking poor Africans.
It must be crazy in general to grow up and live most of your adult life without the internet, and then it's just here and you're supposed to know how to deal with it. Like, and then this happens. What is this? She's
Holy Bibble. Holy Bibby. Wait, no.
It's a policewoman. It's a police woman holding the Holy Bibble.
It says HDOIX Bibby.
She's kind of a baddie too.
May 2024 is
Kinda
your
cute.
best year.
US Army. I love the idea that somebody's like, well, I enlisted because of Top Gun, and somebody's like, well, I enlisted because I saw this girl coming out of the ocean.
I love because
with the
like
Holy Bible.
What makes I say shit lips are like, oh, Russian hacking is so sophisticated and blah blah. You get some Indian with what's it called, Mid-Journey, just putting a chick with a giant Bible in the ocean, and he's making millions of stupid effing boomers. It's so sophisticated, you wouldn't get it. The algorithms.
Russian hackers hate him.
The algorithms are so complex. It's really some 17D chess.
It's Gollum's birthday.
It's Jesus.
It's
Jesus
And he has
watermelon.
a turkey dinner in the hospital bed. Damn.
Christ Almighty.
And that turkey was well done. Just well done.
This is like Elsa Gate for boomers.
It is. It is.
Why is the? Oh no! I see one where it's a child holding a teddy bear that's made of like condoms that have been repurposed.
What?
Just none of this.
Show bubs.
There's like a child playing with a crocodile made of pizzas.
Woo!
I can't do any more of this.
I
can't.
It's just never ending.
I can't. Okay, this one's unless I'm missing something here. This
My
one
neck
could be
hurts.
considered weird, but not creepy.
It's
other than just
still
kind
creepy.
of the face is kind of creepy.
It's
There's
a little creepy.
20 there.
The Manic Mustache said, late as always and apropos to lose. I only ever lost a finger. It was a work accident. I deal with this almost every waking moment. I can't only imagine the true pain Paige is going through after losing so much of her body.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you mentioned that because of all of these AI generated amputations that we're seeing.
Gosh, I just can't with it anymore.
Well,
sorry.
is there a moral to this story?
Yeah.
Do the boomers deserve it? I think, guys, if you care about your grandparents, you've got to make sure that they're not falling for this stuff. It's
Yes.
like very predatory.
Take care of the boomers in your life.
The
but
ones you care
feel
about.
no responsibility
The rest
for
of
the
them,
rest of them.
yeah, leave them
Yeah.
to the wolves.
All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
Pad the Flummer said, damn it, Corey, now I gotta go back and look after the show. Rhaegar Targaryen said, queer means defying traditional or normalized standards, typically those held by Western civilized nations. It is subversion. Its brand is disorder.
Yes, queer ideology is vastly different than the other aspects than a lot of the other parts of LGBTQI.
I thought it was supposed to be the N-word, but for gay people. Where
That's what I thought all my life.
They repurposed it as like a term of
Made their own.
But they don't really walk into the room and they're like, hey, queers! Like, they don't really do that. They talk about like queer folk and queer
Folk.
communities.
Folk is such an interesting word.
Folks with an X.
Oh.
Sirenko Productions said it sounds like Paige was graped and never dealt with it. It's quite possible.
Yep.
Wouldn't be the first example of that. The Rumbling said she looks like she has Stockholm syndrome. I mean, in a way, that's true because
she doesn't look well.
Like her captors, I guess, are the rest of the Hollywood industry. Mr. Anderson said, when Elliot Page crying can be laughed at and memed like Will Smith crying, then we will know she has become a man. No F's given, only L's. That is all.
Damn.
I think of like female to male transitioners and male to female transitioners as like entirely different categories of like psychological phenomenon almost, and that's why I react differently when I see
Yeah, we were
them.
talking about that before the show.
Corey Anderson said Taylor Swift oversaturation, when will turn on her? We'll talk about that tomorrow, I think.
We live in a culture now where it's like, I feel like there's just so many forms of media and so many outlets that the idea of oversaturation is harder to reach these days. Because if that was true, everything would be oversaturated. And and you lose one fan and you pick up two more somewhere else, especially when you're someone like her.
Yeah, but it does feel like people are getting tired of her.
I mean, us, yeah, but
Not
like
us. I mean
Taylor Swift?
I mean Stan Twitter.
Oh, okay. So the people within her sphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Desumasuku said, sorry, I butchered that. Feeling sorry for her decisions would be like somebody feeling sorry for me, a smoker getting lung cancer. Nobody needs to warn us. We aren't children with no way to access info. Hi, Bread, Marty, Dan.
Hello.
I think that's honestly different because the medical establishment promotes what she's doing and condemns what you're doing, smoking cigarettes. Although at one time in the previous century, it was something doctors recommended.
Yep.
The dominating narrative changed. So I feel there are extenuating circumstances here. Pat the plumber said Paige ruined Umbrella Academy, and I will not forgive her for it. They really had to make her character transition in the show.
I
at the
don't
same
know what
time
that show was about.
Transitioned. It's based on a comic that Gerard Way created. He's the My Chemical Romance guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because he used to work for Marvel. That's like what he started out doing.
You know, he's cousins with Joe Rogan.
Yeah. How close? They're first cousins or second?
I don't know. I'll text Joe.
If you're second cousin,
my buddy.
Can you text Joe and ask him? Just check with him for me. Serenko Productions said, paint me like one of your fat girls. Oh, that's good. Jewish AF said, no more menstruations until we get a ceasefire. No more menstruating.
No menstruation, not even once.
Corey
It's like when I found
Anderson.
out, but to the thing about cousins, like when I found out, I think Kurt Angle is cousins with John Bernthal, the dude from The Walking Dead, and he plays the Punisher. And like, there's like a picture of them, like a family event, and you're like, that's weird.
I love Kurt Angle. He was my favorite.
Kurt Angle ruled.
And Triple H.
Kurt Angle ruled because he was smarmy and annoying in the best way, but he was so good that nobody cared.
At the intro,
yes,
you suck.
Yeah, like
it was
he
so
like
iconic.
literally when he comes out to the ring, it's a term of endearment for the crowd to shout in unison, "You suck," and he's like, "Yeah."
Dude, when Colby walked out to Kurt Angle's theme, it was epic. Too bad he lost.
Yes.
No, he won that one.
Do you guys think that Gerard Way would ever go on Joe Rogan Experience?
Who?
The My Chemical Romance dude.
I don't know why he hasn't.
I can't imagine why.
Right?
Maybe they had a falling out.
Beef.
Corey Anderson said Chubby's co-star should have said, "Nah, fam, I need a stuntman for the sex scene." No, what's really messed up though is I think that he was into it because they kept on spreading these stories around that were like
that they had great chemistry.
They had great chemistry, and they were like they kept going after they yelled cut and
She's
like
been
all
known
of
to
this.
Oh, they kept going. That sounds like
So he
some
was
PR
into
speak.
it. Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
right.
it's
Fake.
very common to
Question
have a
mark.
body double, and he's just like, "Look, I'm gonna need to tag in the body double on this one. I'm sorry."
Yeah, he's just like
then
gagging in his mouth.
The great skit would be like he does the scene with a thinner actress, but then when she's there, he's like, "You know what? I'm feeling a little bloated today. I don't think I can do it. We're gonna have my body double in here." And then
I'm sorry. Everyone has insecurities.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, just no.
Pat the plumber said they make fun of my body, so I give them more ammo. That is the thought process.
She's probably known to chew the scenery.
Shane H. Wilder said, Dane, we need to throw the grande caramel mocha frappuccinos in the harbor. Tea would not make them that fat.
Yeah.
Pat the plumber said, Mary, did you sleep with your contacts in last night? Yes.
No, don't do that.
I know it's bad, but
It's like life-changing bad.
not for everyone.
Okay.
That's like,
Okay. I warned you.
isn't that the exception usually?
No, I mean, not what. Anyway.
We are like.
You just said like, oh, my cousin.
Listen, what you do inside your home is.
As long as you sleep in your contacts in your own home. Why are we becoming libertarian Mickey Mouse?
That's bread in my head.
That was literally not the point of what we were discussing the other. We were talking.
I love how it still is like bothering you so much.
It's very annoying.
Well, stop fencing.
Okay.
You'd literally just said it and never let me actually make my point, and I just never bothered to correct you. Then
You can make your point now if you
it's
want.
not relevant to the show because that's
Okay.
just politics.
Oh, okay.
So let's
That
keep going.
Stanzatastic said, to appease the crisis meter, I'll hail the meter.
We are 2/3 of the way to a third crisis party. Let's get there, guys.
Make it snappy.
Actually, if we got 5, Mary would wear the Russian hat.
I guess they just don't care about the Russian
They
hat.
must not care about the Russian hat.
Damn.
Tacti Plati said, Dane, sincerely, your wife is a lucky lady.
Dane's over here being an absolute jerk to Tacti, and Tacti's over here just being polite to Dane.
Yeah. What are you going to say to that, Dane?
Step it up.
All right.
I saw it was only $2. Went
He
up.
also said, Dane, I'd let you live in my house for low rent to save up for an affordable house here in West Virginia. Low 200s, brand new houses. Some evil boomer I must be.
Very evil.
I want to live with you. What the fuck?
That's kind of weird, bro.
What the hell is that?
He just
Okay, thanks.
really wants to be around you more often.
No, he was proving that he's generous, unlike the other boomers.
Yeah, that's what he was
Great.
doing.
Shane H. Wilder said, damn, Dane talks shit about Tacti, and Tacti comes back with a compliment. AI is horrendous. Mary beat me to the Elsa gate.
He's literally like bragging about owning a home. It's like,
Great minds.
So you can save some money because your generation's all poor. Mine's not. I got a home I gave 3 strawberries
Save
for.
some money because you bought so much avocado toast.
That damn avocado toast. Oh, well, you know, I'll pay you a small rent to live in my basement. It's okay. Save some money.
That's Dancetastic said, please chop this section ASAP so it can be shared. Phenomenal content out here. Best segment ever.
I hope he's talking about the AI one. I really do.
I think so. Yes.
I still don't get it.
Is that sarcastic? Like you hate it?
It might be.
Maybe. The Manic Mustache said, sorry for that downer. Thank y'all for the great show.
Well, thank you for watching.
Tacti Plati said, Mary, you are like a brand new sports car.
I don't get it.
Might be related to my
your
tweet.
tweets. What was it? Do you want to explain the tweet to everyone?
It was so dumb. It literally just came to me and I was like, I don't even know what this means, but I'm going to tweet it.
I'm not going to lie. I couldn't really
What was it?
follow your logic. Let's look. Do you want to send it to me? Send it to me.
Okay.
Or I can find it. I can find it.
No, I think it was like a hot girl on birth control is like a sports car without an engine. That's what I said.
Do you want to explain that to people?
And then I posted like
I
this.
get it, but I don't. But I get
I posted
it.
this
Like,
picture of Dan Bilzerian it's like posing with a bunch of chicks that
Is an engine?
like I tweeted this not knowing what it meant. So that's anytime that you see something that I tweeted, you should assume that I didn't really think it through.
Here, and the thing is, this is another one of those like audience demographic things where like nobody who's not part of like Christian conservatism, or at least in this space, and thinks about morality on that level is looking at this and thinking anything other than like.
Can we try to break it down here?
Can we try to break it down?
It's like a sports car, so a flashy,
It's hot.
sought after, desirable thing, but without an engine. So it can't run, thus it's not serving its primary function.
Basically.
That works. Perfect.
Genius. Genius, Dane.
That's why they pay me
You're the tweet whisperer.
That's why they pay me the small bucks so I can live in Tacti Platties.
Okay. Okay. Potatoes for Seamus said, Hola, Dane. Brett is amazing, and Mary is the best at making Aussies sound awesome.
You do a fantastic Australian accent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shane H. Wilder said, okay, after saying it, I had to make the Bluey smoking a cig meme. Don't ask why Bluey looks like Ben Affleck.
I did see it. Here's
Do we have it?
We have it.
Who sent me that they're getting divorced?
Damn.
They're they seem to be
Bluey's.
on the rocks. He was pictured without his wedding ring on the other day, and he's not.
Well, they took a picture together, and it was like they were laughing and having fun,
subterfuge.
You're telling me her 7th marriage isn't working out?
Well, they said it was a Latina moment, JK.
Never mind.
So maybe that was just
My condolences.
She had him move out, and then she was like, I forgive you.
Sorry,
Come back."
papi. I love you.
Corey Anderson said, okay, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Gordon Shumway said, Mary, sleeping with your contacts in is really bad. I had a friend who used to do that all the time. Eventually, he got an eye infection that cost him his eye. he had to get a transplant.
Do you really want to become Eye Patch Mary? I don't think you do.
Yeah, or Michael Bisping.
There's like a very small part of me that does want to be Eye Patch Mary, but most of me is like, no.
Guys, how many crisis parties for Eye Patch Mary?
I'll wear an eye patch for the whole show.
Are you guys ready for another episode of Pop Culture Crisis, she says.
Yikes.
We can do that.
That can be arranged.
Yep.
Okay, you've sufficiently scaremongered me. It's just difficult because I've known so many people that sleep in their contacts and nothing ever happened to them. You know? Seems like most of the time nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
I know two people.
You're running the risk of you being the one that does it. That it does happen to.
That would be just
tale.
my luck too, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That Stanzatastic said, no, I loved it. I was dying over here.
In reference to the
AI scams.
the AI segment, that was hilarious in a depressing and disturbing sort of way.
What? Oh my god, I saw Bad
Better
App.
than the Portal.
What happened to Bad App? Is he still a thing?
Bad App is alive out there somewhere, but we haven't seen him in ages.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a throwback, huh?
I still have his merch. Shane H. Wilder said, Cody, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potatoes for Seamus said, Happy Wednesday, Mary. And then he said, Bad App, I'm not going to read that.
Perfect.
And I think we're all caught up.
Rhaegar Targaryen says, slept in my contacts for decades. My eyes are fine.
See? That could be me in a few decades.
But it could also not be you, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
I guess.
Guys, we're going to hang out till the third crisis.
There's another
party.
one from Shane H. Wilder here.
Yep.
Correction. Damn it, Corey. Sometimes it's hard to tell you guys apart. Yeah. Yeah. They're both repeat offenders.
Yes. Well, we can hang out until the third crisis party. That would be cool. I would like a third crisis party. Although I can't tell how. Hold on, I can actually find that out now. 20 away.
Okay.
Almost there.
20 old smackers.
Yep. But it's a lot more than that if you want to get married to wear the Russian hat.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not going to happen.
That would be cool, though. Oh, there's another one there from Shane H. Wilder.
He said, oh, this one is from That Stanzatastic. Get dem with kindness, Tacty. Hi, Eye Patch Mary.
I'm with you, Tacty. You know, kill him with kindness unless you're the fat chick from Bridgerton.
I want to keep this eye because I think it's my strong eye.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then Corey Anderson has another one.
I'm
not sure you're going to read that one. Okay.
I'm not reading.
Shane H. Wilder says, are Corey and Cody the progeny of Bad App?
Kind of. They're like the spiritual successors to Bad App.
Okay.
There have been other problem children in the chat, too.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I was going to hold out, but if anybody wants to get in that third crisis party before we go, we can.
I guess that you guys just don't appreciate us.
Must be what it is. All right, Dane, my friend, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And let everybody know where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me in Tacti Pilates' basement since he's so gregarious and he's letting me have it, me and my wife. That's where I'll be.
It's gregarious.
Gregarious. Sorry, my bad.
You gonna spell out where we can find you on Twitter?
At Dane Font on Twitter. Now I shall spell that out for you. DANEFONT. Thank you.
Perfect. There's a couple more super chats that came in there.
Corey Anderson said, it's easy to tell us apart. I don't have a sister.
Aha! That is true.
True. High Voltage 75 said, the rare times I slept in my contacts, usually drunk, I would wake up with a dry piece of plastic on my eyeball. How can you stand it? But my eyes don't get dry like that.
No.
That doesn't happen to me.
She's like, Visine is your friend.
What?
There's two more there.
Okay. That's Fantastic said here, party time. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, almost party time, but thank you for that.
Potatoes for Seamus said, Mary, I appreciate you. Maybe.
I don't get it.
Someone's playing the long game.
All right.
You're going to play hard to get.
All right, Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Super Chats caught up. We did get the third crisis party. Ladies and gentlemen, so you are going to get a post-credit scene, assuming, of course, that it does not go off while I'm doing the outro. So if you guys would... did I ask you yours? I'm serious.
Yes. Okay. I have told them where to find me.
Good. I was too busy just looking at the meter. Guys, if you want to follow me, Instagram and Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify if you would like to listen rather than watch this show. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, but we're not on TikTok anymore, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. There's a couple more there. Do you want to read those, Mary?
I don't see them here.
Shane H. Wilder says, "See ye of little faith." And one from Gordon Shumway says, "We did have fun with my friend. He came in with an eye patch and wearing glasses. He said something stupid, and I said, 'You four-eye piece of shit.' Somebody else said, 'Don't you mean 3 eyes?'"
Oh, well, what's all the fun we can have with Mary
Yes.
when she loses
Please
her eye?
no.
Yes.
No?
I don't want this to happen.
Well,
I just got scared straight.
There you go. With all that being said, guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.